Hello to the two. How are the two? Apologies for being late, people. I was going to be on time. And then I had OBS issues and had to stamp around like a little child for a bit. So we're not using OBS tonight. Unbelievable. We're so, like, it's perfect. It's amazing. It's great. I love it. It's fantastic. But it doesn't work every time. And it's just, you know, you can't use something that doesn't fucking work. You can't, you know, to have something that you can't rely on but just decides whether it's going to work or not is not fucking good enough. It's just driving me insane. Anyway, I think I'm at the point where I can record a Not Today Satan video on it. I did record one. I recorded a Not Today Satan video on OBS yesterday. But for the first 2 minutes, I forgot to put my microphone on, so there was no sound. And it was really bad. It was so bad, but I was still going to put it out there. Because it was like showing my journey, you know, the first time I used OBS, and it was still funny, and I took the piss out myself. But when I realized the first 2 minutes didn't even have sound, I was like, okay, I can't put this out there. Who have we got tonight? We've got Fun Out. Marky Debbie is back with good internet. We've got Rachel. So Rachel, I do appreciate what you're saying, but it's a bit much for you plebs, in your words, and mine. For me to be doing it every night. And I really didn't intend to do one tonight after I sulked off last night because no one would give me any money. And I even didn't get the answers about Nathan's 11-inch slong, which I wanted, so that was annoying. It was a bit too rash of a decision. I'm going to talk to Lee about it today, actually. I'm going to talk to Lee about the current way I'm showing up, demanding money and switching off a very good live stream if I don't get money. Even if I want to continue the live stream, obviously that's not aligned. I'm not saying that the answer is to do it for no money, but I know that the way I'm showing up right now isn't aligned. So I'm going to chat with Lee and I'm going to put the camera on today and we're going to decide how much of a dickhead I am, basically. But anyway, I had a tantrum yesterday and ended it very strongly and harshly and, well, like, fast. And then I was like, oh my God, Nathan was on the stream and I'd asked him all those questions and I want to know the answers. So I'm hoping Nathan will come back on the screen. So for anyone that didn't watch the last live stream, a guy with an 11-inch dick that I used to spend a bit of time with came on the stream, which I just think was very interesting. If I could have chosen all of my exes to be on the stream, I mean, who knows? To be honest, I couldn't even remember Nathan until he popped up on the screen. I don't think I'd have ever thought about him again. And when we say ex, I went on 3 dates with him. Oops, Not Today Satan's triggered. Right, Marky, how we doing tonight, brother? Do you like my new profile pic? No, it's off the psyop. But it's kind of funny as well. If you know he's a character and you're laughing with/at him, with him, just with the whole playing out of everything, then I'm all for it. But if you think he's some sort of savior and you've taken like the biggest psyop photo ever, then actually that shows how much they've got you. But I still love you, Marky, because they've got me too in many ways. It's fine. Debbie is back with good internet. Rachel is here. Strawman is here looking for Sophie. Your feet turning African. No, I've just burnt my shit out of them, mate. I've been stupid. I've been chucking chemicals all over them and now they're fucked. Lee looked at it yesterday. It's such a good job I finally got a dad at the age of 41. So, Lee, it's on camera. Of course, my whole life's on camera. Lee looked at it yesterday and was like, you see that bit that's burnt? That wants to be the verruca, not your skin. I was like, oh, okay, Daddy. I'll stop pouring chemicals on my feet. Hey, RPM Nitro, valued YouTube member. The scratch post, yeah, man, how good is the scratch post? And obviously, you'll realize that it's my archetype, Debbie. The court jester, otherwise known as the Heyoka. What a shit show it all was. So is that my last live stream? Well, there's a balance between honoring oneself and knowing that one needs to be paid for what they're doing, and also having a tantrum, leaving before you've got the answers to the questions that were probably further down the chat from somebody that, well, it's not even about him. It could be anyone it could be anyone from my past life, particularly if we've got an 11-inch long. But that's not really relevant. I'm just in, if someone from my past life comes on my live stream, I'm like, I want to know if you got jabbed. I want to know how your life worked out. I want to know it all. And particularly if you rejected me, I want to know how much you regret that decision now. Not that we would still be together because you're a retard and I'd have cheated on you. So it's all irrelevant. Hello, Igga. Igga is in the house. Good to see you, Igga. Okay, so I'm really pissed off that I'm not on OBS. I wanted to practice doing some screen shares tonight, but there's just no point. There's no fucking point. What I do want to show you is how little money I'm earning on what's its face? Yeah, I'm going to sacrifice a live stream to do this because I need to really get comfortable with it. I need to start learning. So if I went up here and put in YouTube and then went to my studio, how have my videos done? We can also have a look at that. Yeah, let me try and do that. Although there's not much point because I'm not learning how to use OBS. It's all a bit pointless, but at least I'm getting confident with screen sharing. So let's have a look at how yesterday's videos are done. So I haven't seen them yet, so hopefully that's interesting. And if it's not, I just want to have a look. Right, so I'm going to share that like this. And then if I come back here and go add to stage, you should all be able to see it. All right, so yesterday's videos, well, obviously this channel is completely pointless. 6 out of 10, so that's average. So that's now my average video. Yeah, pointless. How did the one before that do? Oh, yeah, people don't like this one. Yeah, bombed. Totally bombed, totally pointless. How has English refugee done? Oh, 8 out of 10, completely bombed. Oh, I didn't expect that one to do well. That's not part of the story. But the one before was really good, and it got released nice and early in the day, 1,800. So I think that's pretty good by my new crap standards. It was too funny for 4 people. But views are up 46%, baby. I was going to say that is good for my new crappy standards, where no one watches my videos anymore. The only videos that people watch are on the channel that doesn't pay me, Not Today Satan. So Not Today Satan used to pay me between $2 and $3 per 1,000 views. More like the 2, 4K, 3 out of 10. That's pretty good. But it's meaningless because that's going to be $4. Look at this. So it used to pay me between $2 and $3 a video. Now, how do I do this? Oh no, there's no point looking at that one. Now it's paying me, like, look at this. This one yesterday was on 83 cents. So it's 1,400 views and it was paying me 83 cents. Look at that, 83 cents for 1,500 views. What you talking about? What you talking about? This one, 15,000 views, $17. Are you fucking taking the piss? How am I supposed to feed my pussies with that? So people, hopefully this will give you a bit of a perspective of why I am demanding on live streams, because YouTube takes a fucking piss, man. Like this, I mean, YouTube pays always crap. Everyone knows that. But, you know, at least $2 per 1,000 views, you can just about eke it. Look at that. £3.50, man. What's the point? So for an hour's recording time and then upload it. So for an hour and a half's work, I've got £3.50. So people, if you think I'm greedy, if you think I'm grifting, no, I'm trying to fucking survive. Is that interesting? Oh, it's inspired Justin. Yes, Justin, what's up, mate? You're my hero. Cheers, bro. You're my hero for the 2, man. I wish I could give you some hero emojis, but we're not on OBS tonight because it's spacked or I'm spacked. It's probably more like I'm spacked. But, man, I did everything right. I did, you know, this is the thing. And then Lee will come up tomorrow and he'll be like, why didn't you use OBS? And I'll be like, well, because the camera didn't work. And he'll go, and he'll put it on and the camera will work. And I'll just be sat there like a stupid little child. But, you know, the camera didn't work. What am I supposed to do? But, of course, it will work when you're here because you don't have back energy like I do. fucking god. Mr. fucking floating on a fucking cloud. Cunt. Only joking. I love Lee. So some of the plebs got confused between the two Lees. I mean, as if Lee would ever comment on one of my videos and not just come and talk to me. As if he'd have a reaction like that. You know, I mean, the fact that they even thought that could happen with this Lee. Never mind the fact that I said the other one was mixed race, lived in Thailand. I mean, it was just so clearly not him. It didn't even occur to me that I would have to break down that it's not godly, that it was half beast of a Landley. I mean, it was just so fucking obvious. Even if you don't know who half beast of a Landley is, it was so obvious that I wasn't talking about this Lee. I mean, obviously, everyone in the chat, there's no way Debbie fell for that. There's no way Igor fell for that. Not fell for that, because there was nothing to fall for. It was just, you know, you have to be seriously tarded to ignore all the points of a video and just hear the name Lee and assume it's this one. Really stupid. Justin, what do you think? Is that worth another 2? Yeah, man, life's a mad-ass ride. Well done. I'm very happy your hair looks nice. That's going to really improve my day. Okay, so it's a bad start to the stream. I got pissed off with technology, and I got pissed off with YouTube payments. And all I really want to know is what Nathan's doing with his shlong. I don't even want to know that. I want to know if he got jabbed, but I know he got jabbed. I'm just pissed off. I asked him some really funny questions. And last night I was in good energy, man. It was a funny stream. I shouldn't have ended it. But then at the same time, if I set goals and boundaries, then I have to maintain them. And I have to get paid. If I'm going to do this, I can't do this every night and not get paid. I don't know. I'm going to talk to Lee about it, and I'm going to put the camera on. Let's see. I do think Rachel's right. I do think I need to do it less. Because you know, it's the same people all the time, so I can't expect you to all chuck your money every night. Like, that's ridiculous. But then I'm also an addict that hates himself, so I want to do it every night so I don't have to mute myself. Problem. So then I have to do it without getting paid, don't I? Because it's just my addiction. What do you mean? I missed 2 minutes of your content because of the Palestine propaganda. As in you had to skip the content where I put in Palestine propaganda. What do you mean? Not really. I mean, I've just shown you. Have you literally just joined the live? I've literally just shown you that I get paid $1 per 1,000 views on Not Today Satan. On my other channels, it's between $2 and $3 per 1,000 views. I mean, English Refugee is probably quite a bit higher because it's hour-long videos. So it's not just about the amount of views, obviously. It's about how long those viewers watch and how many adverts they see. So the answer to your question is, on English Refugee, yes, absolutely. Tom Gray Tricks is irrelevant. No one watches it. And then, but on Not Today Satan, basically, no. So if I was to just live off ad revenue, I'd currently be on about $800 a month. So I won't be able to do it. With my Patreons and stuff, I'd be on about $1,000 a month because they're amazing. So the live stream, oh, right, yeah, I got paid as well. It wasn't as much as I thought. I thought I was going to get $2,000. All my analytics tell me I'm going to get $2,000, but no, YouTube decided it was $1,500. And obviously, because I'm a goy, I just have to accept it, and there's nothing I can do, even though, you know, the analytics say something very different. Greetings from Germany. Try not to get beheaded, and hopefully when the police officer comes to save you, what was that crazy one from Germany that just totally summed up Western life now, where I can't quite remember. It's victim on floor, stabby one from, you know, the other lands is doing his thing, you know, it's just completely normal for them. Does someone try to apprehend him and the police officer apprehends the hero and then the enricher stabs the police officer and police officer dies? I mean, it was just incredible. Just incredible. I mean, so incredible it probably didn't happen. Oh my God, the kittens. Let's talk about the kittens. Calico is the best cat in the world. Calico is the best cat in the world. Like, unbelievable. Just unbelievable, mate. Like, honestly, this cat, fuck the other two. I'm not interested. No, I'm joking. They're all great. But Calico's another level. So Calico is super playful. It started last night about 6 p.m. Just starts fighting with me, like in a really playful manner. goes on for 3 hours. And I mean like proper fighting. Like it gets to a point where I'm batting it and it's coming back. And like, it's so much fun. And then she falls asleep on me here. I'm on the sofa and I want to go to bed. And I'm just like, I can't move. This is too good. So then I take her to bed with me. And she sleeps here under my armpit. Outrageous. Such an amazing cat. Like, so full of life. Like, a bit too much. Like, she keeps trying to destroy that light. It's so funny, mate. She's also shitting in the corner. And there's some shit down here as well. But to be fair, I've given up on this flat because I'm moving out in 2 days, so they can just shit where they want, really. Obviously not, but I left. That's enough cat stuff now. Let's ask another question. I don't shag fat people. I don't shag old people. I don't shag women. So we'll just put that out to a chat. Well, if you look not today's late, and you need to make it worth my while and show you appreciation with a Patreon or buy me a coffee, because they're not paying me. I've just shown the stream that I get $1 per 1,000 views. So it's a shame, man, because I'm really motivated about it. I really want to do it. Now, here's the answer. Rather than guilt tripping you lot and emotionally blackmailing you all, fuck that. I need to learn how to use OBS, and I need to get 100,000 views a video. That's the answer, and I can do that with OBS. That, you know, there's that beast of the land that does nothing. He's popular. He's got like 500,000 subscribers, at least 200,000, but I think it's more like 500,000. And he just sits and plays videos and makes a few beast of the land grunts, and he gets like 200,000 views a video. Now, he's not controversial. He doesn't say anything, let alone what he thinks. So obviously the plebs love that. But if he can get hundreds of thousands of views a video and he's literally a low IQ non-human, then I mean, I think he's mixed, so he does have some human in there. Obviously, for the purpose of YouTube, I'm just talking about you know, a made-up story that I'm writing about aliens. We're not talking about humans, obviously. But in this story, there's a certain group that aren't really aliens, but they some of them shag the aliens and they're half aliens. So I think he's a half alien. So, you know, he might have an IQ of 90 at best. Okay, I'm glad you appreciate the rants because I'm feeling quite ranty tonight. Rachel's been gardening. Yeah. Have you ever smoked CBD flower, and how different THC is it? Oh, massively different. It's really good, actually. It's because, you know, so it hits all the boxes except being stoned. So you get the taste. I mean, that's the big one. So you know, if you're a smoker who mixes with tobacco, as most people in England do and I do, then obviously you're addicted to nicotine. But you don't want to smoke cigarettes because they just taste like shit, even roll-ups. Now, that's not true once you don't smoke the herb for a couple of weeks, then roll-ups become beautiful. But if you're smoking the herb, then roll-ups are just so not satisfying. You know, if you try and do the whole roll-ups in the day and herb at night, like the roll-ups in the day is just like torture. In my addicted opinion. So the CBD flower solves that. It tastes nice. It does have an effect. It definitely has an effect. It depends where you're coming at it from. Like when I had a relationship with that plant, which was quite strong, as in the CBD, I was selling it in my community centre legally. Thank you, Debbie. I was selling it because it's legal to sell. So it was quite a big part of my life. And I was doing it through repression, through resistance. I was doing it through like, I can't smoke anymore, or I don't want to smoke anymore. I want to stop being an addict. All negative, like it's affecting me. Oh, bless these people. I'll try and finish this story before I honour them properly. So basically, I was trying to smoke CBD instead, and that's just never going to work. Whereas if you get to a place where, you know, you felt yourself and met yourself so much that you don't want to spend the day comatose, then I think it can serve really well, and it can come in really well. It does have an effect. But, you know, it's not going to put you to sleep. It's not going to knock you out at night. It's not going to get you masturbating 12 times a day, you know, which is, of course, what we all want and the aim of life. Debbie, thank you so much for a 10. That's highly motivating. That's highly, highly motivating. I can already feel, wow, I actually felt like frustration turned to, I guess it was a feeling, it was excitement's too strong. It was more like just warmth and appreciation. Thank you, Debbie. Fan on it. Oh, we've had fan on it before. Thank you, fan on it. I really appreciate that. Okay, great, good. That's gonna give us, that's gonna help. No, of course, I do not listen to any interviews with one of the biggest puppets out there. If you're still thinking that Elon Musk is good, then you're going to struggle. So Elon Musk is bringing in the social credit score. He's been tasked with bringing in the social credit score for the West. That's what X is going to become. If you click on X, you'll notice in your bar it says X, the Everything app. Well, that's because it's going to be the same as I think it's called WeChat in China, which is the Everything app, and everything goes through it. And they can switch you off at any point, depending on your social credit score. So Elon Musk is definitely a baddie. There's also, all the AI stuff, all the brain chipping stuff, all the fake space stuff, all the satanic stuff he does. So yeah, you're really walking around like this if you still think Elon Musk is any sort of savior. So no, I'm definitely not going to be watching any of his interviews that are designed to program you into all sorts of stupid beliefs. Josh, we like Josh. Josh is very interesting. I mean, he's a complete, no, he's not. Let's stop doing that. He's still got his blinkers on, but for somebody he's the best person with blinkers on that I've ever come across. Like well, let's see what he's saying. Hello, Tom, loving your content. So this is like, I think Josh is jib-jabbed. And I think Josh is even at the point where he might not have accepted that was a terrible thing. Like, this is how repressed Josh still is, judging by his comments. Yet he puts stuff like this in. Josh is going to wake up. It's inevitable that Josh is going to wake up because he is inquiring, but he's so repressed, bless him. Don't agree with Lee that smoking is beneficial. So yeah, this is the only level he can come from. Like, what do the doctors say? However, I really enjoy his teaching. It's great. You just keep enjoying, bro, and opening. Hey. We have the same issues here, Tom. We lost one of our ragdolls 6 weeks ago, fostered a mama cat and her 4 kittens for 4 weeks, and we're adopting one of the little grey girls. What's the issue? What issue was I talking about? I'm shitting in the corner. It sounds like you've lost one. Was I talking about one? I don't know how that relates to what I was saying. But love to you and your pussy and your cats. I just love it. Cats are great. Cat people are great. Cats are just great. Cats are the best thing ever. Oh my God. Big bug. Yes, you go out there. Nah, exes are like assholes. Everyone has one, and they think, nah. No more than you do, mate. If you think only your exes are the problem, then Vo isn't very self-aware. V isn't very self-aware. It takes 2 to tango, man, and you will always meet your vibration in a relationship. So if you end up with a narcissistic ex, then you're as narcissistic, but maybe on the other side of the scale. You may be on the people-pleasing side, but you'll be just as broken as your ex. So whatever you judge your ex for, turn that finger around and look at yourself. And that doesn't mean that the ex won't have their faults too, of course, but that's nothing to do with you. You can focus on that and stay repressed if you wish, or you can turn the finger around and look at you and own your parts. Yeah! Great news, everyone. Sophie's in the chat. I got an email from Sophie yesterday apologizing for missing my live. It was a good job because I'd just been crying in the corner until I got that email. Like, oh my God, Sophie wasn't on my live. Ah! I've had about 18 paragraphs about her life. I can't believe I even did this. I skim-read them and then just replied with breakdown. As in, that's what you need. Josh just wanted to add that he is gay. I think Josh is gay. I don't really. I mean, I kind of think so. But what are you going to tell us, Josh? Are you going to tell us how many inches it is? Oh, thank you, Lisa. Are you? Yes. I'm pretty sure I know who you are. You subscribed quite recently, right? Thank you so much, Lisa. That, honestly, that is massive. If I could get I mean, I say just, it would be a massive honouring if 100 people decided to honour me in this way. But if I could get 100 Patreon subscribers, actually not even that, because I think minimum is £3, isn't it? So if I could just get 50 Patreon, hang on. No. Oh, no. No, that maths doesn't work at all. Fuck that. I don't know. I just don't think this is going to work. I know it's going to work. And it is working. I got 1,500 quid this month. That's enough. But it is really frustrating when they're paying you $1 for every 1,000 views, man. That's hard to motivate yourself. Now, I have a lot of natural motivation for YouTube and Not Today Satan. Like, I really want to master this OBS thing. And I was watching a Daniel Boland video yesterday, and I was just like, oh, right, yeah, this is clearly where I need to go. Like, still prodding at the repression, but just having fun. Just having fun. I'm focusing much more on becoming a comedian. From my perspective, like what I can get out of it is focusing on being a comedian. So I really want to do it. And then YouTube gives you $1 per 1,000 views, and it's just like, oh man, like, can I do this? Like, can I put in the time I want to put in? Because I want to start putting in. OBS it does make it easier and better, but it's a lot of planning. Like, I've never planned my videos, and suddenly I'm spending like 45 minutes planning my videos. We're talking probably 2 hours of video, certainly at the start until I get used to it, and then I'm gonna get £2, £3. That's a right slap in the face. And then, how did YouTubers even begin? Like, I'm relatively established on the scale of YouTubing, and it's a struggle financially. I have to fucking do this a lot. And I love doing this, but there's this element of like milking my audience and demanding money out of my audience, which obviously isn't an energy anyone wants to be in. Anyway, I'm going to put the camera on with Lee today and speak about it. On Not Today Satan, me and Lee did a great video on this. It might be a bit much for you, like it's a lot. There's a lot of information in there, and it's not information that you're used to. It's not of the third dimension. But if you really want to know the answer, then there is, on Not Today Satan, there's a video saying, can we send them all back? I think the title is, can we send them all back? It was only about 2 or 3 videos ago. 15,000 views. It did really well. I got $14 fucking dollars. Unbelievable. That was a half an hour long video as well. $14 fucking dollars. Unbelievable. Good to have you with us. No one's flower. I recognize you, man. You've been a long-term commenter. Thanks for all your support. Hey up, Mark. Well, that's really a shock, Sophie. I mean, you won't surrender, you won't meet yourself, you won't do any self-work. So guess what's going to keep happening? Oh my God, the email I got off her was just so entitled. Like, she honestly thinks I care about her life. I mean, I do if she was surrendering, like if she was meeting herself, and I'd be all in. But she just wants me to get involved in drama. Like, she just doesn't get it at all. Doesn't get it at all. And obviously, she wasn't sorry about missing my life. She just wanted my attention. So the title was "Sorry I Missed Your Life," and then 18 paragraphs about her shit life. And she asks a question and then she answers it herself. So there's nowhere for you to go. She can't receive help. She can't receive anything. She's unbelievable. She's off the charts. She's emailing Lee. She just wants attention. She just. I've never met such an energy vampire in my life. This looks interesting. Emmanuel, I knew it would be a man. There's no way a woman would share like this. Not many women would have the courage to share like this. Debbie would. I'm fighting with opioid addiction and dependency, as well as prescribed clozapam. Never have I experienced anything so gripping. Yeah, totally, man. I mean, these are real DRUGSs. The pharmaceuticals are way worse. And I would put this in the same category as smack and Irish people having a good fun. We're all having a good crick. You know, it's that hardcore. It's that serious. Right. Can I get the vibration chart up? it would be a lot of work for me to get the vibration chart up, but it feels like it would really help you if I did. Bugger. I can. I mean, I really can, but I can't. God, I've got to get this sorted, man. I need this vibration chart in my life. Okay, right. So your it's not actually about the substance. Like, okay, so on one level, addiction is really real. What would be really good, mate, is what's your framing on addiction, first of all? Like, do you believe in addiction or do you believe in coping? If you think it's about the substance, then you need to go, and I know TED Talks are woke nonsense, but this one's really good. You need to put in TED Talk addiction. And this guy from about 10 years ago now with sort of blonde, spiky hair, not spiky, but, you know, just like blonde, up, quiff hair, about 40 years old will pop up. If you just put TED Talk addiction in, you need, first of all, you need to reframe your views on addiction and what's going on here. You need to stop making it about the substance and realize it's about you escaping yourself and coping, which I'm not shaming in any way. I do it too, not with these particular low vibrational. This is why, you know, this is why I really want to get the chart up there, because it really helps you see like where you're at, and then the inevitable coping that comes with that in terms of substances. So, you know, when you're vibrating lowly, essentially in fear, shame, and guilt, then these are the only substances that are available to you, along with alcohol. So, you know, for example, if you were to smoke a joint, it just wouldn't touch the sides, because you're vibrating here and a joint vibrates here, so you need alcohol. And basically it's all about being a workmate. But tell me if you understand what I mean by the framing on addiction, and if that TED Talk, if you've watched it, or do you think you're an addict, or do you realize, and it's about the substance and it's about resisting the substance, somehow I need to beat this substance, or are you doing this yet? If you tell me that will help me answer that will help me help you more, because that's a key. That, you know, I need to know the starting points. Did you do a parasite cleanse? I'm going to do one with ivermectin. So am I, Liam. We can document it. You on the live stream with you, and then I'll document it in video form. So I'm going to go and buy some ivermectin for my cats. I'm going to start giving my cats ivermectin once a month. So I guess I'll eat some too at the same time. So moving forward, once a month, me and my pussies are going to have the ivermectin. Oh my God, I've missed 3 amazing people. The ivermectin. Why? What's going on? Is that a cat? Oh, it's a cat. Okay. What are you doing? Don't chew my wire. That was $5. I bought that yesterday. No. That's not a cat toy. No, it's not a cat toy. CT7 seems to be really interested in this new wire that I bought. Oh, CT7, it's a good job you're not Beans, because I really like you. I got a bit. I snapped at Beans for the first time today. She tried to attack Callie when Callie was eating, and Callie's my favorite cat, so that's not happening. So I threw her out of the room. That's what you get, Beans, if you attack my little Callipus. Lulu, thank you for the 30 jewels. Wow, she must be thinking I'm well worth it, giving me a whole 75 cents. So it's kind of a joke, Lulu. We don't really know what these jewels are worth. So AI tells me that they're worth about 20 pence, but AI is, you know, full of shit. If you could shed some light on it, Lulu, as a jewel buyer, I'm really interested to know how much 10 jewels is worth and what it's cost you and all that. But if it's worth 20 cents, you're not going to tell us, are you? But thank you, Lulu. It's much appreciated. Thank you very much. I'd appreciate it more if I knew what it was. All right, come on, Sophie. So Sophie went to a sound bath. Whoa, radical. Try some ayahuasca if you want to change. And Glastonbury was, oh my God, it's all just story. There's no point. So this is the problem with, you know, so these people are so repressed and so in story, and they think a sound bath is going to change something. Now, of course, everything's vibration. Of course, a sound bath is a great healing modality. And it is where everyone starts, because everyone's a pussy. But oh my God, like someone like Sophie comes in with like all this contortion and repression and restriction and like energy system all over the fucking place, just like, let's just say completely suppressed. And she thinks the sound bath's going to make a difference. Like, it's not going to touch you, love. you might feel a bit relaxed at the time, but actually, to be honest, the truth is you've never met yourself, you've never been in silence. Actually, it'll be agony for you, because for an hour you have to sit still and you can't text people and you can't email people and you can't seek others' attention. So it would have been really hard. Oh my God. And then she's finding problems with it. Oh, she's vile, man. She's fucking disgusting. Like, there's no looking at herself at all, man. I just hate this energy so much. I don't hate this person. I don't hate this individual. You know, I can see how much pain this individual's in. I have sympathy towards this individual, but I hate this energy. I hate that people are so fucking out here. It makes me, I mean, that hate, that, it makes that in me. You know, like the fact that she's, you know, so struggling and so bad, and then she goes somewhere and she judges people because they're smoking a green herb because she's so repressed that she'd never dare smoke it. I mean, and she thinks she's better than them because she doesn't smoke it, where really she needs to fucking try every substance under the sun. She needs to try everything because this woman is completely effed. But no, she knows better. And you can't even see that she's repressed. She thinks like that her anti-green herb stance, which I'm not here advocating for anything. I'm just, you know, pointing out she's obviously clearly at this side of the spectrum. That's not me saying that Bob Marley is the way, like he's at the other side of the spectrum. There's a balance. But, you know, Sophie's judgments. Ugh, disgusting. I want more than ever to be sober, yet my body and mind just cannot feel okay with it at this point. Trying not to let fear control my actions, but any advice? Yeah, so the advice is to watch that TED Talk and come back to me. There's not much point until you've reframed addiction. Assuming you're coming from the mainstream programming, which is that it's all about the substance and not about you. And that anyone could just be a smackhead tomorrow if they did smack. Drugs are bad, just say no, you know, this sort of programming. Whereas in reality, you would never. Right, this one is a little bit different because this one is really evil. So a lot of people, so these are physically addictive. This isn't just about coping. This is a physical addiction for sure. And there'll be a lot of people who are vibrating here and don't need these substances, but vibrate down here to cope, but then they break the leg and the doctor gives them these substances and it pulls them into this vibration and then they're fucked. So something like that may have happened to you. I'm coming from the perspective, I'm coming from the assumption that you at some point found emotion too much, found life too much, and thought, oh, I'll try one of those pills. Oh, that feels nice. My nose is a bit itchy, but apart from that, this is great. And then, oh, the next night, oh, I'll just do one of those pills again. And then, you know, you were an addict within a week. I'm assuming that's your story, but it may be that, you know, the demonic, status-driven NPCs in white coats effed up your life, because that's what they do. Some love for Emmanuel. You will get there, brother. I promise. Work hard, find a focus and a strong reason. Mine is being alive. Yeah, lovely, but not really the answer. You're not, you know, so that's avoidance. It's great. I'm not knocking you, Marky, but you're, you know, however you survive, I honor. And if you stay sober, that's great. However you've done it, I totally honor it. But there's no self-work in this. I mean, there will inevitably have to be some self-work, but subconsciously. So this is restriction. This is or replacing through the external. So we're still coping. And if the external collapses, you've collapsed tomorrow. Really, you need to come inside and do the work and raise your vibration. So to a point where you look at it. So I used to have a big relationship with these things, only for about 6 months. It was when I was getting blackmailed over that video, and a very highly stressful time in my life. And for 6 months, I lent heavily into opioids. And what was my point? I've lost it. No, she's just an energy vampire and borderline special needs. Thanks, man. I feel so close at times, but just keep going back. It's brutal. I mean, first of all, don't shame it. You know, you're surviving and you're coping the only way you know how right now. So when we relapse, then we go into the shame spiral because of the way we've been programmed by society to, you know, shame ourselves and view all these things as bad. And you might have been sober for 2 days and you might have rang a friend or a mum or whoever's close to you in your life and gone, I've done it, and then you relapse and you feel like it's what. Try not to go into this, try to, you know, try to see the inevitability of it without, you know, it's a difficult one because it's all paradoxical. So what I'm saying now isn't a get out of jail free card. It's okay to do it. In terms of what you're doing to yourself, I'm not talking about any judgment or anyone else's perspective here. Really try and leave all that behind, because that's the shame. The shame is other people, what you think other people think. And then, you know, accept that relapses are inevitable on this path. You know, you're not just going to click your fingers and end it. And what I found is that the times of sobriety get longer and longer, and the times of relapse get shorter and shorter as you do it. But really the key is, I need to know if you're doing this or this. If you think you can just stop because I'm not going to do it anymore, then you've got no chance. But if you're going, right, what feelings do I need to feel that are making me want to escape myself? I need to feel those feelings, then you're going to crack it. As in, not crack it. Sorry, I know you're not smoking a crack pipe. Everyone is here for you, Emmanuel. Everyone loves you. There's a bit more advice. I'm not saying it's the right advice, man. I have the same issue. Yeah, again, so Rachel's talking about it as if it's an addiction. It's not an addiction. It's a coping mechanism. Big difference. You need to watch that TED Talk and then come back. I desperately do not want to end up in a treatment facility, but the past few weeks I opened up to family, my mother being the worst mistake, feeling like I can't do it alone. So when you say you opened up to family, do you mean you told them about your addiction for the first time? It sounds like you don't feel like it's gone well with your mother, as in presumably she's shamed you and not supported you. That's shit on her part, but that's hers, not yours. You don't need to walk in her shame. Good on you for sharing, man. Good on you for sharing. And this is also the key, you know, opening up and sharing. I mean, at this stage, mate, at where you're at, have you considered NA? It's not, you know, it's not the future. It's not going to transform your life. And I almost don't want to even recommend it because it's step one. It's step one. And, you know, in this state, NA it sounds like you need some support. It sounds like your family aren't very supporting. You're in the chat sharing deeply, which is great. And I really honor and encourage. But it also tells me that maybe you don't have an outlet to do this. NA would be a great outlet for that. So maybe consider that. But I really think watching that TED Talk and reframing addiction is the key. And then it's going to have to be self-work, mate. You know, I mean, people are so scared of themselves that they'd rather end themselves. Whether that's a slow death like this, because obviously that is what you're doing, Emmanuel, ultimately. Like you said, you're going to end up in a treatment facility. Because these are, you know, they're pharmaceuticals, they're deadly. It's not like, well, maybe if you were popping these every night, it would probably do similar things to your body. But I don't think it would be as bad. Like these are really, really bad. And I don't mean bad as in, oh, aren't you bad? No. It's totally understandable. They're really good. From your point of view, they're really good and bad. You know, there's a reason why people get heavily addicted to these. You know, they're designed to kill you. They're designed to do exactly what you're experiencing. Keep chatting, Emmanuel. Keep sharing. Let's see if we can go deeper. But also, I really need to know. I mean, I would actually recommend leaving this live stream now and watching that TED video and coming back. Just put TED Talk. Just put TED Talk. This is driving me insane. Just put TED Talk addiction in, and it will be the first one that comes up. Let me check.
Hello, my name is Frederick.
Shut up. No one cares who you are, Frederick. TED Talk addiction. Yeah, first one that comes up. You want this guy? Amazing. That changed my life when I watched that video. Yeah. Watch that and come back. These fucking jewels, man. Can you tell me about YouTube jewels? I am a monetized YouTuber doing a live stream and people are sending me jewels. Are they worth nothing or are they worth something? Like, obviously I know they're worth something, but are 10 jewels going to be worth like 20 pence? Or is there a chance they're actually worth me mentioning and saying thanks for? Yes, they are definitely worth mentioning and saying thanks for. Well, you would say that because you're a woke piece of shit, but would say you have to thank anyone for anything. Every 2 jewels redeemed by viewers earns you 1 ruby. Oh my God. The value of each ruby is 1 cent. So if somebody sends you and costs them a block of jewels, it directly, it sounds like it's worth nothing. So I think 250 jewels would be worth $1.25 to me. So that's, yeah, okay. 10 jewels. I mean, to be fair, it was 30. So that's 15 cents, 10 pence. Thanks, guys. Spider. Are people saying there's a spider? Yeah, I mean, again, without knowing your story, I'm going to buy some CBD flower or hash online. I mean, hashes, they're not the same thing. So it sounds to me like you have a relationship with the green herb and feel like that's potentially not serving you and want to switch to CBD. Is that right? I mean, it's a great way of doing that. It's a great way of, like I said earlier, fulfilling the addiction without getting mashed. The coping mechanism, I should say. But what I always found is after a week, I'm just like, F this. I need to feel the feels. Josh, haha, sorry, Tom, I'm watching on my phone. I must admit, I did get the jib jab. Yeah, I knew that, mate. However, I realized it was a huge mistake. Fantastic. And I regret it deeply. Fantastic. I'm not gay. Fantastic. But you are a handsome chap. Much love. So this is why I love Josh. Like, it's very unusual for someone that took the jib jab and is as repressed as he is to have a sense of humor like that and to not get triggered by people like me or me, because not many like me. Yes, thank you, Rachel. Thanks for being honest about the money and why you left abruptly last night. I did leave way too abruptly. However, I do need to, you know, if I say this is what I'm going to do, I have to do it because that's how I live my life. But it was a really good stream, and I did want to find out whether Nathan had took the jib jab, even though I already know that he has. Yeah, it didn't feel good when I left, put it that way. But then I did have a really good day. I went out and recorded 3 videos and got some editing done. So I don't know. I really don't know. I'm going to put the camera on with Lee and find out. What's your opinion on Andy Bunham? Bum. So it's just a new head on the snake, mate. There's no point talking about the new head on the snake. Like, we know what the snake is. It's run by the same people, the Them Every Time Club. It's 2 wings of the same bird, or now it's about 4 wings, because they've created these new parties that people are thinking are parties, but of course they're just created by the same people. So there's no point even talking about Rupert Lowe, mate, let alone Andy Burnham. He just looks like a big dancing batty boy to me. I just can't believe people. I mean, the fact you're even asking this question is quite concerning. As if you think that, what, he might change something? And presumably you probably don't think he will, but if you're asking this question, you probably think Nigel Farage or Rupert Lowe will. So it's very concerning because the answer is not political. And as long as people are even paying any attention to, let alone asking enlightened beings what they think about some demonic puppet that's just a dancing rent boy with a fucking stick up his ass and the Jays are holding the stick, then we're fucked. Gabo Mate, well done, Boz. Yes. So this is for Emmanuel. Yes. Yes, Gabor Mate, Emmanuel. Listen to Gabor Mate. Yes, thank you, boss. I totally forgot about Gabor Mate. It's so long since I've been in these realms. Yes, Gabor Mate is a great recommendation for Emmanuel. Do you think he's ready, though, heart to heart? I would suggest Emmanuel talk to Lee. I'm assuming he's not ready. Like, if he hasn't, this is why that TED Talk's so important. And Gabor Mate, because it's much more accessible than Lee, in my opinion. I mean, for me, this is, yeah. In my opinion, it's much more accessible than Lee. I would assume that Emmanuel is in such a place of repression and restriction that he would push Lee away just like he's pushing all his emotions away. But obviously, heart to heart, I'm sure you're right. Although I don't actually think you're right. I think in this case, I don't think he's ready. Talk about the asleep pussy. You triggered a great video from him. We need more of that kind of content. Oh yeah, great. Is he doing a video about me again? Of course he has. I don't care. So I imagine, I think this person is probably quite depressed because she watches Asleep Pussy. I imagine, you know, when he produces a great video, it means he's ranting. So he'll have done a big rant about me, and she likes that because she likes drama. Lynn, can't afford to give you anything at the moment. Don't be sorry, that's fine. I don't have a cat either. Defo with the X opinion. You have to remove yourself to move on up. Toxic shit gets worse if you don't fix it. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you're still making it about the ex and not yourself. So you mean your toxic shit, yeah? Unless you mean your toxic shit, then you're living in projection. Everything about you is judgment, Sophie. Your whole existence is judgment. So you judge people for smoking ganja. Yeah, Tom, is your turban dirty? I don't get it, mate. I mean, it's made me smile and almost laugh. No, I'm sorry. I know your cat litter is a bit fucked right now. Right, let me get you some more. Okay, just please don't do it in there. What about this one? Why don't you use this one? I don't understand. This is nice. I can put lots of... Oh, right, yeah, it is wet. Fair enough. We had a big storm last night. Right, there's lots of nice dry soil for you to cat around in. Please shit in that. Oh, fucking hell, I'm so fed up with this foot, man. I want to start doing my video. So I gave Lee my Osmo 3 because I've got an Osmo 4 now. And he goes and does a video by Siam Reap River, and it's glowing. He's glowing, the river's glowing. It's the best quality footage I've ever seen in my life. And I go to him, have you changed some settings on my camera? Because it never looked that good for me. And he said, yeah, I've done a bit of this and a bit of that. And then I watched a video where he recorded it in the garden back there, and it doesn't, like, it looks like my footage does. It looks good. It's obviously using a good camera. But it's not like that one on the Siam Reap River. Now, someone in last night's live was talking about the ley lines running right down Siam Reap River. So I realized that's why that video was glowing, because it was, he was walking on a ley line. So I want to start filming some videos there, but I can't walk. I want to join a gym and, start working on these tits, but I can't walk. Fucking nightmare. Well, what else am I supposed to do? Haha, the pooing on Sophie is still ongoing. Tom is relentless. I love it. Well, it's her that's relentless. I'm just reflecting, what can I do? I've tried ignoring her. I've tried, basically just that. I've tried it all, and now I'm just going to, tonight I seem to just be, giving it to her because, but there's no point. She can't hear anything. She's never going to do this. I mean, she will, because everyone's going to have to. Oh, dear. Addiction is more about addictive personality. We'll switch and... Okay. Yeah, addictive personality is a terrible phrase because personality doesn't exist and it's really dumbing it down. But I like the second bit. We'll switch and swap from one to the other, and it's hard to remove a part of your personality. Yeah, personality doesn't exist. Almost, Lynn, almost. So Lynn's talking about whack-a-mole. You know, you whack one down and then another one pops up. So I remember I used to ring my mum and be like, Mum, I've not smoked cannabis for 3 days. And she'd be like, well done, Tom. And I'd be like, yeah, we went to the pub every night and I drank 18 pints. She'd be like, great, because society has told her that that's okay and the green herb isn't. So yeah, this is whack-a-mole. I notice now if I stop smoking, I touch my dick way less, but then there'll be a day where I suddenly want sex, you know, like whack-a-mole, whack-a-mole. So it's all about avoidance. You're avoiding your emotions. But personality is a creation of, you know, people believe they're born with, you know, like addictive personality like that. You believe you're born with an addictive personality. You haven't linked it to trauma yet. You haven't linked it to coping yet. So this is very, very basic. However, you are right. That second sentence is right. But yeah, just drop the personality story. Personality comes from the word persona, which is Greek for wears a mask. So what you think is your personality is your conditioning. It's all the masks you're wearing. Underneath that is your authentic being. It's definitely not a personality. Okay, yeah, I am getting to the point where I need a donation, guys. Otherwise, I will end the stream in the next 10 minutes. People lack energy so much these days. And so with the jewels, I can't take those into account because it seems like they're worth nothing. And no one is willing to tell me otherwise, so clearly they're worth nothing. So basically, yeah, I've got 15 quid so far. So yeah, I'll do another 5 minutes. People lack energy so much these days that they try to outsource it with substances or coffee. What you'll all need is raw milk, raw butter, yeah, nice. Raw cream, raw liver, raw meat, yeah, great. But there's also the trauma aspect, mate. And there's also the surviving aspects and having to cope. Like, you are dead right, mate. And I'm sure if everyone was doing that, there'd be a lot less ability to be traumatized, a lot more ability to feel one's emotions, and a lot less need for substances. You're totally right. But also to say to Emmanuel, and I know you're not directing it right at him, but to someone who's why are you back in the plant pot? There's a whole fucking bowl of soil right there. To be, you know, that's not the advice. That's not going to help Emmanuel right now. Like, it would, like, if he did all these things, that'd be great. But also where he's at, like, he can't serve himself like this. He can't honor himself like this because he's not ready. Like, it's not the vibration he's in. So I agree, but also it's a bit of a show-off post and not really relevant to the way substances have come up in this conversation tonight. But you are dead right. And I wish I was doing all those things. Am I doing any of those things? No. I'm not so sure. I mean, raw liver and raw meat is extreme. I think you're probably right, but, you know, no. But I'd definitely be up for doing raw milk, raw butter, and raw cream. I would love to get... Oh, Debbie. Debbie's way too good, man. You all put way too much onus on Debbie. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you for keeping the live stream going. Hopefully someone will throw in another $5 and that will get us to an hour and a half. So, thank you, Debbie, very much. Thank you from everyone in the chat who's enjoying the chat too, but is too repressed to honor the chat and keep the chat going themselves. Yeah, raw milk, man. I really want to get some raw milk in my life. It shouldn't be too hard out here. I should be able to do that. Raw milk is so good for you, innit? You know more than me, mate. Tell us why raw milk is so good for you. I agree there is a balance with everything, including substances. Yeah. Is there a balance with smack? I just can't. She needs to go into a timeout. She can't hear anything. She's just fucking disgusting. I hate her so much. Okay, so Tom's got my energy all wrong. Like, no, I haven't, Sophie. The whole chat can see exactly where you're at. Like, why can't you self-observe? Like, oh my God. Then never email me again. How dare you think you can email me? How dare you think you can waste my time? Why are you so entitled, Sophie? Why do you think you're important enough to email me about your life when you show me no respect, no honoring, when you almost got me killed from the paradigm we were living in that time? Like, how do you think you have any right to ever contact me again other than spazzing out in my live stream? Like, how dare you? How dare you email Lee? How dare you think you can take up Lee's time? You fucking moron. Fuck you. On the other side of the spectrum, here is Heart to Heart. So Heart to Heart, Iga is the complete opposite of Sophie. You know, she has done a lot of this and is constantly doing this. And that is why she shows up with such love and such beauty and such wisdom every time she shows up anywhere. And this is why she never ever responds to Sophie's comments. I mean, that should tell you a lot, Sophie. You've got a divine feminine here who is full of love. And clearly, as she's shown with Rachel, wants to hold the hand of anyone who is doing this. But you're not doing this, you're still doing this. And Heart to Heart never responds to you. So that should tell you it all. Has she got your energy wrong too, Sophie? Is it all us? Are we the problem? Is it the enlightened ones which are the problem, or do you think it's you? I'm sure Heart to Heart won't call herself enlightened, and I don't really think I'm enlightened. But compared to Sophie, we is gods, yo. And we are gods. We're all gods. Everyone's a god. Even Sophie. Fuck me. We've got a long way to go. Thank you, Iga. Really appreciate it. So that's 2 hours. Sweet. Meds make you, Debbie, meds make you worse, but in the place you're in, you won't see that. You have to think what they do for me, I can't do myself, and be way better. Yeah, I mean, it's very true that the meds are providing what he can't provide to himself, which is love and comfort. I mean, obviously, in another way, they're not providing love, but in that moment where, they kick in and you're like, whoa, they're providing... Probably love isn't the right word. They're providing... Can you believe the Buddhists are making noise already? It's like they started at 5 a.m. I mean, I don't mind. It's a bit bassy though. We don't usually use bass. Like, they are using bass. Oh, is it that fucking wedding? There's a wedding just set up around the corner, so I think the next 3 days are going to be a nightmare. I mean, they're so loud, weddings out here. So loud. And they go on for 3 days. So it might be the start of a wedding at 5:30 in the morning. They might be warming up the stereo for us all. But it sounds more Buddhist, but they don't usually use the stereo. Oh, bless you, Rachel, especially when I've just said we're going to 2 hours. Like, that's amazing. Like, for someone to put money in when you've just said, we're going to that. When I said that, I could hear my ego going, don't say that, because now no one's going to put any money in. But Rachel is just full of love and support. Will you do another hour, Tom, with this and Debbie's 5 and Hearts 20? Sophie, okay, yeah, so yes, I will. We're going to 2 hours now. Thank you very much. Sophie, it's about, I really appreciate it, Rachel. Thank you so much. It's really beautiful. Maybe you put that in before I stated that I was doing 2 hours. But, I'm going to pretend you didn't if you did, because I want the point to stand, and I do still, and I do think you would actually do that. So, Sophie, it's about time you took some cash. Oh, she can't. In seeing, no. There's no point, mate. There's no point. She can't do anything except be repressed. Can you all click the like button, please? If you're too repressed to give, I understand that. But can you at least click the bloody like button? And if you can't do that, get the F off my screen, off my stream. You don't deserve to be here. A substance test on rats used 2 groups. One set lived in a good environment. Oh yeah, this is really interesting. And the other set was kept in a bad one. Both groups had normal water and water with substance in it. I know where this finishes. For rats in a bad environment, drink the substance water. The rats in a good environment, don't ever drink the substance water. It's so true. It's such a great experiment, which proves what the TED Talk will tell Emmanuel. I mean, we haven't seen Emmanuel, so hopefully he's watching that TED Talk. But it's not about addiction. It's not about personality. It's not about addictive personality. It's about your environment and how traumatized you are, and what you need to balance out the trauma of that environment, and what coping mechanisms you need to get through that environment. Great, fan on it. Thanks for bringing that up. There's the rest of it. I've just said it. No, TED Talks are terrible. They're really woke. Modern TED Talks, don't touch them with a barge pole. Terrible. It's like, you know, ran by the Them Every Time Club. Don't watch any TED Talks, but this particular TED Talk is really good. But yeah, if you're watching TED Talks, you might as well be reading Reddit. You know, you might as well be watching the BBC. Like, really bad. Really, really stop watching TED Talks. Except for that one. Addiction isn't fixed by a new substance or therapy. It's fixed by nutrition. No. A well-nourished person. Okay. So you are right. A well-nourished person never wants to seek stimulants or drugs. Yes, but not just externally. You know, you've got to nourish yourself spiritually. You're way too external for me. So you are right in terms of, because that's like the rat experiment, isn't it? If you're in a good environment, you're not going to seek those. But if you're already in a bad environment, this isn't going to help. And also, you're missing out all the deeper stuff. I only need a little bit of green herb, else I get panicky. I've got nothing against any substance if it's done with the right contents and balance. I mean, that sounds perfect to me, Chris. It sounds like you're using it as a medicine. It sounds like you're microdosing and using it as a medicine. I mean, that's perfect. You know, great. You might, I imagine you'll find, well, I know you'll find, is if you were to go on the self-work journey and really meet yourself and really dedicate yourself to self-transformation, then the panicky bit in you would be transmuted or released or integrated, whatever it is. And you would no longer need this medicine. But right now, the medicine's serving you really well. And yeah, great, keep going. But also do the work, which I'm not saying you're not doing. I don't know. I used to have anxiety, but most people with anxiety are really just fat deficient, to be honest. Chugged 1 to 2 liters of raw milk daily for 2 years, and it slowly disappeared. Yeah, okay. I'm really open to what you're saying, mate, and I'm not disputing your experience, and I'm not disputing that if everyone did what you're doing, it would have a great impact. I just think you're focusing on that, not too much, because it's really great and really important, and I think it's wonderful. But you're not speaking into any of the other aspects of it, and this is multi-layered. You know, this is deep. However, I totally agree with everything you're saying. I just wish you weren't so like, it's this, and you were a bit more like, here's an offering. This really works for me, and then of course you need to do all this as well. But yeah, I love the information you're putting in the chat, mate. I'm really glad you're here. I really honor you and your wisdom and your life experience. I agree with every word that you say. But I think there should be some more words as well. Anu, you this. Thank you so much, mate. Thank you so much. These twos add up. They're highly valued. Thank you so much. Goy charms, yeah. People, well, no, keep throwing the goy charms at me. Like I said, it all adds up. But yeah, we can't include it in the timescales. Antidepressants don't work for me. I'm sure I got akathisia, don't know what that is, from them. They exactly don't do anything for me. Give me they're terrible. Give me side effects, withdrawal. So antidepressants will catch you. You know, this is the precipice for it's over, as in you're going to end it. And antidepressants will catch you here and keep you here. They'll keep you numb forever. They'll keep you insanely depressed forever. But, you know, you'll probably die a natural death. Step one. I was on them for about 5 years. But no, of course, the Them Every Time Club aren't creating anything that helps you. Of course, they want you all on these, because what they also do is they shut down all the senses. They shut down the third eye. They shut down all of that, which obviously is what they want more than anything. Like this guy, they want you all to be as dumb as this guy. So, yeah, antidepressants are terrible. I mean, this guy will be on antidepressants for sure. And yeah, I mean, just don't trust any pharmaceuticals. But at the same time, if you're going to end yourself, then maybe take some antidepressants, because they will numb you out to a point where you don't end yourself, most likely. But that's as good as it gets with them. That is as good as it gets with them. Yeah, I don't understand. I've missed the I've missed the context of a spider trap, but I agree with this. Lisa, spiders are good. They eat all the other bugs. Spiders are amazing. I think I think arachnophobia really did my generation, that film. And because we're brought up by repressed spastards called parents, and they scream when we see a bug, then it just gets passed on. But there's nothing to be scared of about spiders. They're amazing creatures. And this whole, like, we've talked about this before, but this whole, like, they crawl into your mouth. Like, no, spiders have survival instincts. I mean, it just shows how repressed and retarded we are, but we believe that. But yeah, of course, like, why would you have a problem with spiders when there's flying things that bite you? They're way worse. And the spiders get rid of the flying things that bite you. The best in these countries are the geckos. Inside every apartment, there's at least 50 geckos all the time. And they just eat up all the mosquitoes. They're great. Shady Licks, good nutrition won't stop addiction. The more lucid you become with healthy diet, the more painful it will be as you become more able to process the pain and suffering of what brought you to your addictions. Amazing, Shady Licks, but also, is that not, that's going to help? So I agree and disagree, again, because we live in a paradoxical world. So I think what you're saying is true. It will make you more lucid and able to process stuff and bring stuff up, but that will help stop addiction. Now, I appreciate that you're challenging the guy that's making it very simple, and you're speaking into the depths of it more. So I think what you're saying is it won't just stop it like that. It will actually probably, take you into it more as you experience yourself. So I agree with both of you, but I agree with Shady Licks a bit more. I promise good nutrition. He promises now. Oh, fuck. Why have I just lost the chat? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. You just got to be kidding me. The chat's just disappeared. You just got to be kidding me. Oh, am I still on screen sharing? What is going on? Oh, my God. Right, let's try stop sharing. That's done nothing. Oh, what's that? Yeah, got it back. I promise good nutrition will prevent addiction. Look at the intuits. They're literally impossible to anger or insult because they're so easygoing. They eat lots of raw fish and raw meats. Yeah, okay, great. And I'm not sure the Inuits are a great example. I mean, okay, fine. Like, we might not get angry, but what have we got to get angry about? Aren't we just going to sit around a hole fishing all day? I mean, I'd get fucking angry. But obviously, only if you'd had this experience first, but that's all they know. So. Yeah, you're a bit too of the third dimension for me, mate. You're a bit too like, it's this, and not nuanced enough. But also, I really like the information. I totally agree with what you're saying. But, there's much more. All right, that's in response to Andy Berman. Yeah, totally. I mean, it's just even the Fabian Society is all just part of the show. And it's all just distraction. Like even the J Club, as long as we're divided, like the fish and chip shop man that I fell out with is a perfect example. Like me and him would be fighting on the front lines together, but we're falling out over J's. And that's exactly what we want. Oh, another 2. Bless you, Anuvis. And that is, they've done it twice. It's not me being a spectator. Thank you, my brother, my sister, I'm not sure. Tell us about yourself. Oh, Cole's in the chat, that's always nice. The whole front beach are... Oh, God. Oh, my God. People still think politics are going to save the day. It's just incredible. Please look into mud floods and what happened in the 1800s. Stop kidding yourself that they have given us democracy after they did a great reset and wiped out a whole generation to do it. And then they went, here's power. No. Awesome. I did a good poo this morning. So this person's poo smells toxic. I did a really good solid poo before this live stream. Lol, we've got a repressed one seeking external comfort. So this is about the same level as this. Rupert Lowe and Jesus are very interchangeable. These are people who can't go inside, can't take responsibility, can't do self-work, and therefore they look for external saviors that don't exist. All I eat is pot noodle. Yeah, well, your shit's going to be incredibly toxic then, just like your whole body, and you're going to be dead within 5 years. Enjoy. No, that's not right. Oh, maybe he's talking about his experience. I don't smoke the green herbs because I don't have the right connections to get it. I haven't asked around for it, so I'll buy it. What the hell? Mate, it's the easiest thing to get in the world. So I'll buy CBD online. Are you serious? You can't get green herb. How old are you? Are you like 40 or 50 years old and wanting to smoke for the first time? Because that would be quite challenging. And if you want to email me, I can give you a contact that can post it to you, and it comes through a post, no problem. And it's really good quality stuff. Did you see any of the protests in Glasgow on Saturday? Us Scots running out with libtards? No, mate. I was going to say let's get the screen share on, but that's going to be classed as violent by YouTube, so I'll lose the $4 I'm going to make. Now, if it demonetizes a video, I don't think it would take the super chats. It would just take the ad revenue, which is irrelevant. I'm here purely for the super chats because the ad revenue is disgusting. It's amazing, isn't it? It's actually amazing to even read. I understand why Rupert Lowe gets them and is a bit convincing, but how are people still believing politics are ever going to politic? Like they've spent their whole life being betrayed by these people, and then they give them a new shiny character and they go, oh, maybe that one. It's actually really demoralizing, and it shows how far away we are. But I'm starting to accept that, well, I don't know anything, but for me, there's going to be two timelines, two Earths, if you like, and people like that are just going to stay in the hovered one, and that's where they need to be because that's the only way they'll wake up. And they can't come to our one because they'll ruin it for us. They'll still want to talk about Rupert Lowe. Like, can you imagine talking about Rupert Lowe and taking yourself seriously? If the pass mark for New Earth was 50%, could we pass half decent? Half decent is balance, which is the pole's combined whole, so not easy till it is. Do your works. I think I agree. I don't really understand. I don't understand the question. If the pass mark, I mean, it's too literal. It's just way too literal. Like it's like there's a man on a cloud with a yes and no tick sheet, and he's going to pass you. It's all about vibration. It's all about how surrendered you are and how in flow you are. If you're bringing percents into it, then you're not in flow and you're not surrendered. But right idea, you're on the right track. I think you'll be there, Stormdog. No, hang on, Stormdog's a good one. Very strange way of wording it, Stormdog. Can you hear that? So it's just got really loud. It's quite nice. I'm interested to know if you can hear it. I'd imagine you can't, because I've got the microphone on. Right, let's try and get down the chat a bit more. Right, fan made a donation, so obviously they'll get all their chats put up. Why don't you just go to the doctor, Tom? You've had this foot problem for a while now. I will do, but I know what it is. It's a verruca. I don't think that's really the problem anymore. It's how I've been treating it in a lackadaisical, non-loving manner. So I've been putting too much apple cider vinegar, tea tree oil, and now salicylic acid on the skin around it. So I don't know what a doctor would do. Doctors are just hopeless and pointless. There's no point seeing a doctor because they don't know anything about anything. They have to know so much about everything. They know nothing about anything. And also they're brainwashed into sadistic ways of harming people rather than caring for people. So I'm really not interested in a doctor. But I'd happily see a chiropodist or a foot specialist who knows about verrucas. But the issue there is having same reap, and those things don't really exist. So I think basically what I need to do is stop putting anything on it for a few days, because the issue isn't the verruca. Obviously, that is the underlying issue long term and still needs to be dealt with. And what I'm doing may work and looks like it is working, But the issue is I've inflamed my whole foot. So I need to just not put any treatment on it for at least 48. I think if I don't put any treatment on it for 48 hours, the inflammation will go down. It's not really inflammation. I've literally burnt my foot. So the skin will replace itself. And then I can start just making sure I put it on the verruca. I've been really lackadaisical about it. So I don't think I need a doctor. I mean, doctors are just awful. But I don't think I need any sort of professional. But I'm open to an actual professional that actually knows about verrucas, but not these status-driven plebs in white coats. Riley's in the house. So this is about Sophie. I saw she commented on one of your videos saying she's in love with you. Rachel had asked her, and she said yes and no. Yeah, I mean, she's just in love with anyone that will show her attention. Like, Sophie's love means nothing. She blows like a leaf in the wind. So, you know, I realized this in my, you know, I was a complete love addict, complete co-addict, complete asexual addict, but really it's love addiction playing out as asexual. And so basically, you know, I was completely broken and I had the story that another could complete me. And when I started to wake up and do the work, and I read a book by Pia Melody called Love Addiction, and I literally like read it like that because it just described my whole life and why I was doing what I was doing, which I wasn't conscious of. I started to look back on the people that I was dating, just like, how did I ever think that this person could serve me in any way? I mean, obviously I didn't have language like that. How did I ever think that this person could love me, or that I could love them, or that we could ever be together? And I'm just going to use the word serve, even though I wouldn't have used that word, and serve each other, honor each other. Like, clearly it's just two broken, desperate people being like, oh, you're broken and desperate too. Okay, let's be broken and desperate together. And that's Sophie's form of love. So it means nothing. Obviously, even if she wasn't so repressed and she loved me, it would still mean nothing to me because she's an ugly woman that looks like a man and just disgusting in every way. However, it means even less because she's completely broken. So literally her love only means someone to someone else who's broken, like straw man. So yeah, it's just meaningless. It's just in my opinion, it's just spackiness. Like, every word that comes out of her mouth, she doesn't know what she's saying. So there's no point putting any weight on anything she says because she doesn't know who she is. She doesn't know what she's like. She knows nothing. She's literally a leaf blowing in the wind. But yeah, she has a story about me that contains love, but it's just a story. She doesn't know what love is. She just knows what desperation is. Why do you think you incarnate on this planet, Tom, when this reality is brutally hard? I don't know. I don't know the exact answer. I think essentially what's happening here is consciousness is expanding and we're all part of it. And it's doing this to expand. I think that's what's happening. I think to answer it from an individual perspective is why you find reality so brutal, because you still think you're an individual and you're separated from one. And that separation is very traumatic. So as long as you're living in duality and separation, it will be brutally hard. But I can tell you from my own experience, mate, it's actually can be quite beautiful if you can reconnect. But that takes a lot of work. It's a really long, challenging journey, which is why so few people do it and why people will push it away to the point where they show up like Sophie does. So obviously Sophie's very extreme on this energy towards connection side of things, but also you have this as well, and everyone does until they have what we call an ego death, or they're cracked, or they start doing the work and they slowly start chipping away at the layers of, let's just use the word ego. Repression would also be a very good word to use. And then eventually you start gaining the evidence that allows you to reconnect. But it has to start with courage, because currently you've got no evidence. You've got no evidence for what I speak of. What I speak of probably sounds crazy to you. And you can't even begin to comprehend anything other than an individual experience as an individual human. I understand that, I know that. But if you can just hold what I'm telling you lightly as a possibility, not putting your eggs in my basket, don't put any eggs in my basket, just keep them all in your personality human basket, but just hold this empty basket as a possibility and lean into it. Just hold it as a possibility, don't even lean into it. And then start learning what self-work is and doing a bit of that, and suddenly this thing you're holding as a light possibility might have one of your 12 eggs put into it. And that will start growing and this will start shrinking, i.e. separation and being an individual human, and you'll start growing connection and realizing that you're not a drop in the ocean, you are the ocean. There was something else. Shit, it came to me. It's come to me twice and it's the key point that I want to give you and then it's gone. Hopefully that was enough. It was a really good point for you that kind of helped you know how to do that. Oh, bastard. How did that land, Chris? Do you hold as a possibility that you could be more than what you're experiencing now? And if I think you can see the third dimensional reality of the world, i.e. evil. Well, I had a really good fucking... I'm just babbling now because I'm pissed off because I lost a good point. Basically, you know, look at who's telling you you're an individual. Look at who's telling you you're a human. Do you trust them? Everyone's baffled by Sophie. Colosso! Hi, Tom. I've had a thought. The evil ones are trying to close the consciousness exit gateway by entrapping consciousness inside of an AI-chipped humans on what is called Earth. Yeah, I think that's a good thought, Calusa. I mean, there's a lot of people talking about this. This hasn't just popped out of your head. But maybe you've not seen any of that, and it's genuinely a Caluso-ism. But there's also many podcasts about this. So, yeah, it's fairly established. So I have resistance to it. Evil ones, duality. Yeah, so I'm kind of, this doesn't really resonate with me anymore because I just see it all as one. However, if you're still living in duality and separation, so for the purposes of this chat, I think this is spot on, really. Yeah, I think that is what they're trying to do. I think they're for some reason, they're battling the inevitable. Like, they can't possibly win. Consciousness is doing what consciousness is doing. You can see in the Schumann resonance, which is a scientific measurement of the Earth's energy, like what's happening. Rising of vibration, big time. Sorry, I've just seen a hater that I really want to get to. It's distracting me. I want to piss them off. So, close the consciousness exit gateway by entrapping consciousness inside. No, definitely not. Maybe, but I don't think consciousness can be trapped. I think that's coming far too much from a human perspective. Way too human-centric, giving the human way too much credit and not giving oneness it doesn't even need honoring because it's not a god, it doesn't want pain to. Not recognizing the absolute, I'm going to use a word that I don't really understand, omnipotent brilliance of consciousness. Yeah, I think there's a lot of human perspective in this, but you know, a lot of the people in this chat think they're humans. So from the chat's perspective, I think this is a really good comment. From my perspective, not so much, but also interesting. And yes, yes, I am a narcissist and I am a grifter. What are you going to do about it? I'm very proud of myself and I love myself very much. And I'm very good at grifting. Now, of course, grifting is just your jealousy. So you're a slave and you have to judge anyone that can create their own income as a grifter because you can't do it and you're insanely jealous. So that's what's really happening here. But I'm more than happy for you to project and make your silly gay little comments from your silly gay little repressed low intellectual place. Hello, Lipsis. How are you, my love? Thanks for all your support over the last few lives. Yeah, I think she is a stalker, but she's harmless. So I think it's beyond being in love with Tom. It's borderline obsession. Yeah, she's definitely a stalker. But she stalks everyone in her life. Like anyone that shows her attention, she'll be just turn into a stalker because that's all she can do. She can't do anything else. Is there a balance on smack? Pure gold. Oh, I'm well behind. All right, let's try and get through this a bit more. I think I was coerced or manipulated or tricked into coming to this planet, or if I did consent or agree coming to this planet, when I got here on the outer boundaries of this planet, I regretted it. I laugh because it's so relatable. I spent 10 years believing this. I don't believe it anymore. I'm not going to speak into it because that's your perspective and that's where you need to be right now. And you'll only change that with a lot of self-work. And also, it doesn't need changing. Like, it's fine. I honor it. It's funny. It's really understandable. It's not the truth, though. But I can understand why you have to frame it that way, and that's the only possible perspective you can have. Because until you learn to feel and your internal starts slowly chipping away, starts to move to a beautiful place, and then your external reflects that, you're right. I saved my kids from a DV relationship. Not sure. Substances and violence, maybe? I understand there are two sides to a story, but I was just saying sometimes it's toxic. Sorry to disagree. No, never be sorry, Lynn. You're never wrong. I'm not making anyone wrong. I can't even remember what we're talking about. So that's how much it means to me. So don't worry about that. I don't want anyone, when I give a reflection, I don't want anyone to walk away from that reflection going, I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Like, that's not my intention at all, because then I put you in shame vibration, and that's not going to help you at all. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help expand your perspective. So whatever I said, I don't know what it was. Like I say, you don't owe me anything. You don't need to be sorry to me. It doesn't, just, yeah. Really, in the society we live in, 99% of the time you're saying sorry, it's just disempowerment. Now, of course, sometimes you need to apologize, but we've got to a point where people are apologizing for walking through the door at the same time as someone, or walking past someone on the street. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. You all know these people. You may be one of them, Lee. They're called people pleasers. So you have nothing to apologize for. Whatever you said, if it was something totally ridiculous, like if you were a Sophie or a hater, I would remember it. So whatever you said wasn't ridiculous. I didn't think you had any need to apologize, that's for sure. So here's an offering to you, Lynn. Rethink the conversation. Go back into our conversation. You obviously know what it was, and ask yourself, what am I sorry for? And I'm pretty sure you'll find there's nothing you need to be sorry for. And then ask yourself, why am I apologizing for being alive? And then ask yourself, when did that start in my life? Oh man, I can smell cat shit. There's at least 4 cat shits in the flat. I've not done a very good job. The last 24 hours, I have not done a very good job with cat litter. And it's because I put it outside and then there was a storm and I just didn't know what to do because the cat litter got wet. And I was just like, oh my God, I'm freaking out. And I'm too mashed to do anything about it anyway. Ooh, and here's my dick. I'm only joking. I haven't touched my dick for 2 days. Oh, let's time her out again. She's too disgusting for words. In fact, no, oh, last time I asked for chat, but it was that weird chat that Albus was. It was all Albus's energy, and a load of women jumped on Albus's energy and were like, "I like Sophie." It was just disgusting. I had to end the stream. It was so disgusting. So I am a little bit worried about asking the chat what to do about Sophie again, but because you're not helping yourself. It's not for us to help you, you fucking energy vampire bitch. Help yourself. You're not willing to help yourself. How can we possibly help you? And no, I don't care if you go and end yourself after the stream. I will feel no responsibility for it whatsoever. It's nothing to do with me. It's all on you. Your life, you're responsible for it. We are all here to help you. We all want to help you. We're all in this chat for the similar reasons, but you can't help yourself. You're such an energy vampire, and you have no responsibility whatsoever that you expect others to pick up around you. Were you smothered as a child? Did your mother do everything for you because you can't take responsibility? What's wrong with you? I have no responsibility towards you. You can go and do whatever you want. I don't want you to end yourself. Of course not. That's not what I'm saying. But how dare you write in my comments that I would be responsible for that if you did that? No, you would be responsible. Do it, and I will not shed a fucking tear at all. And I'm not encouraging it. I'm just saying it will have no effect on me if you do it. Because it's nothing to do with me. You need to take responsibility for yourself, you stupid fucking puddle on the floor. Oh. She just wants me to tell her that she's great and love her because she just wants attention. She thinks attention is the only way. She's only ever experienced positive feelings when she's got attention of others. And what I'm trying to say is she must have had a mother that did everything for her and probably still does. Because she has no concept of responsibility. None whatsoever. You know, they're all telling you. Everyone's telling you, Sophie. It's very obvious. And the only person that isn't is the best one in the chat. Because she can't even, you know, she knows there's no point. She knows I should have blocked you a long time ago. She knows that there's no helping you. So she doesn't bother. Lisa was on antidepressants for years and years, met my new man, he got me off them within a year, never looks back. What happens if your man leaves you? i.e., have you done the work? Have you transformed, or are you just relying on another? And that's great if he stays around. I mean, it's not really great. I mean, it's great from your perspective, but it's not really great because you'd probably fall harder than you ever had if he left. Now, that's based purely on your comment. Of course, there could be more to it. He may have shown you how to do the self-work. That's a very different story. But if it's literally all about him, then how do you, if he leaves tomorrow, how do you feel that whole? Do you think you go back to your antidepressants? That's the question. It's just a question. It's not a judgment. Happy to hear that Lee captured some Telluride magic. Is that something to do with Taurus, thyroids, that shape? Or is it something totally different? I took my energy meter, oh my God, to the temples at Anchor. That was interesting. Oh, wow. So Anubis is very interesting. Anubis is speaking of things that I don't know about. It's the same chemicals that are in the antidepressants that are in the tap water. Fluoride is one. Yeah, they're just numbing pills. They just numb you out. They're really... I'd almost just say there's no place for them at all. But I think if you're about to end yourself, maybe. But that's literally the only place they have. And they're just so not the answer, man. They're so not the answer. She's also admitted she's in love with Tom in the chat. This is about Tom giving her attention too. Yeah, I need to block her. I don't know why I don't block her. What do you think about it? Should I block her? Of course I should block her. I've blocked her so many times, but there's something that's for some reason I always unblock her. And I think, to be honest, I think it's just the ego that wants good analytics, and Sophie provides good analytics because she's seeking attention and spazzes out all over every video. But that's not trusting. Yeah, it's time to block her, isn't it? It's time to block her. Tell me what you think, chat. I think it's time to block her. Oh yeah, she'll do that. She'll totally twist your words. So Lee was breaking down her email. We weren't discussing the content of her email because we don't need to. It's not about the detail. It's about her energy. So he was saying that how she answers the questions before she asks the questions and then answers them like in the same sentence. But obviously she answers them completely wrong, and then you can't tell her anything. So it's bonkers, man. She's not even good at getting attention. She's obsessed with attention. She's not even good at it. It's just honestly, I mean, maybe I should, shall I read the email? Fuck it. If she's entitled enough to email me, then I'm just going to read it out to you guys. It's an absolute joke. So it's titled, oh my God, she's emailed back. Oh my God. So I emailed her back with 2 words and she's emailed me back. Honestly, man. Honestly, man. I just can't go. Oh, she's emailed me back 3 times. Who does this woman think she is? This is the original email. I fell asleep. Sorry, I missed your live. It's not a good start, is it? I fell asleep on the sofa and woke up at 1:30 a.m. 1 hour after your live had finished, I think. I'm so tired, Tom. Getting fat too, which I hate, as I don't think I can do this. I haven't read this yet. I just skim read it and just put breakdown. Come on, let's try and do it. I can feel myself falling. I can feel my energy dropping as I read this. Wow, that's incredible. I don't know if I can do it. Getting fat too, which I hate, as I've been so good with my fitness routine for... Why is she telling me about her fitness routine? There's just no vulnerability here at all. It's all just noise. And was eating for the last 5 years and not being on track with that like I was. Feeling my belly getting fat does not feel good. If you saw me, you wouldn't say I'm fat, but oh my God. If I saw you, I'd fucking head kick you in the head. I wouldn't give a fuck about you or anything about you. I can't go back to that sentence. It's too much. Trouble is, I've lost my drive to run. I'm not running. No, I can't do it. It's just so external. Like, the running isn't the problem. The problem is you're not meeting yourself and you're not doing the work, and that would motivate you to run. But there's no point trying to help you. I can't even read the email. I want to read the email for comedy value, so we can all just take the piss out of it. I can't even do that. I can't even read it. Like, I can feel my whole body shutting down when I read her words. And they're just so, I didn't realize how bad it was because I hadn't really read it. It's so detailed. You know, the devil is in the detail. Like, she's going into every fucking aspect of everything that's completely meaningless. So how do you help that? Like, what, do I respond to the fat bit? Do I respond to the running bit? And that was the first paragraph of about 18. Like, she gets so lost in the detail, there's no helping her because it's not about her boss, it's not about her belly, it's not about her running, it's not about her diet, it's about her not looking at herself. But she's so desperate to not acknowledge that, she goes into all these fucking stories about her belly and running and her boss and all sorts of fucking crazy shit. There's just no helping that. There's no fucking helping that, man. I'm not going to read this out because I want to get down the chat, but it looks like it's quite interesting and there might be some good information in it, so feel free to do with that what you will. No politician is worth their salt unless they talk about, you've lost me. You should have just stopped at that. No politician is worth their salt. Unless they talk about the economics, no. Nowhere near deep enough. I'll put that up for Sophie, but there's no point whatsoever. Mediocre, evil. Doctors ruined my health as a kid, gave me antibiotics for a common cold and ruined my gut bacteria. It actually caused my IBS that I had since I was 11 and I just fixed it 2 years ago. Well, good on you for learning how to fix it. Can you tell me, because my ass is still exploding. Although I did do a solid poo this morning, but you know, we'll be back to exploding tomorrow. So tell me what you did to stop your ass explosions, and well done to you. And yes, I agree with what you're saying, except for a mediocre bit. That's suggesting that there's some good doctors. Have you ever met anyone good that's been to university? Let alone for 7 years and told that they're best people in society. Right, she's going, I'm blocking her, I'm done. Ban. Finished. I can't cope. It's disgusting. Arcadian's in the house, loving Arcadian. 3 hours to get to the comments, so I know I'm safe. Caluso's trucked a bit in. Thanks, Caluso. Would eternal life entrap consciousness? Yes. Eternal human life, yeah, absolutely. Consciousness has set this up in the perfect way for consciousness, so that involves, from our experience, death, obviously not from consciousnesses. That involves the expiration of this vessel. Expiration of this vessel, body. So yes, so not necessarily, because that could all change and we could become eternal beings in a flesh suit. I don't think that's going to happen, but just, you know, consciousness or consciousness. But I imagine what you're speaking into and where this comes from in this current paradigm, and the only place it's mentioned that I'm aware of is from the elites. You know, it's from the Simpsons episode where they've just got their heads in jars of water. You know, that was 20 years ago, and they're still alive after they died, and I think they might have been connected to a computer in that episode. I can't remember, but I do remember heads in jars of water of famous people still alive after they died. And obviously the Simpsons is always telling us what they're doing, and we don't need that, because there's companies that are claiming that they can freeze your body and bring you back to life in 200 years or something, and people are paying millions of pounds for these companies to be frozen when they die. So yeah, it's absolutely happening, and yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's something else, isn't there? Oh, transhumanism that's coming up, and the microchip and all that, and that's going to be all sold to you as health benefits and extending your lifespan, and you won't get the big C if you take this chip and all of that. But what does it mean for your soul? I mean, I think it's highly possible that, I mean, even people that have done the jib jab might have already done this to themselves. But certainly if you go further and take the microchip, I'm pretty sure something along these lines. I'm pretty sure this is the aim of the baddies. I think they're trying to trap consciousness somehow. I mean, hold this all lightly, because obviously who am I and what do I know? But also, you know, we're speaking into things that are really impossible to speak into from our human perspective, and also are always changing. You know, the future is fluid. But it seems to me that the fallen ones want to keep this earth going as it is and want as many humans here as possible, presumably for loosh farming. How's that, Clusa? Was that worth £2 quid? I hope so. Oh my God, these fucking cats. 1 minute. There's cat things going on. I'm going to put the kettle on as well. Oh, am I? Oh no, there's no point putting the kettle on. We're only doing 30 more minutes unless I get another tenner. What are you doing? Have I left some meat out? Oh, I've left the fish out. Right, okay, that's my fault, not your fault. You are the cat. Of course you're going to eat fish if I leave fish on the side. Cats will eat the fish. Right, I'm putting the kettle on, guys. I'll put it on in the anticipation of another 2 people throwing a fiver in. But I am going to end it at 2 hours unless I get that. No, you've already had your fish. No, I can't feed you again. No. I'm not getting paid enough. I can't feed you. Well, that guilt tripped you enough. Of course, I can feed my cats. You don't need to pay me to feed my cats. What's vibration? Google the vibration emotion chart. It begins with H. The good one begins with H, but I forget the name of it. I can't believe it. I'm such a bad YouTuber. I really should have that on share all the time. Oh, something's just happened. Cluso's trucked in another 2, so we only need another 8 people to get to 2.5 hours. You know exactly what I was talking about, so I think you're happy with the answer. So happy you decided it was worth £4. Excellent. That makes me want to do your dance, Cluso. Tom, why do you feel the need to do ayahuasca? Well, because I want to be enlightened. If I feel I've been awake since I was 3, why do I need it? So this is all fear and repression. You're scared of ayahuasca and you're making up stories as to why you shouldn't do it. So there's being awake, and then there's being connected with oneness. Are you connected with oneness? Do you want to be connected with oneness? I don't need to purge anything. Yeah, this is all story. I've always been able to sit in silence for days on end. Okay, great. Keep doing that. Well done. And so I think that's all story. I think that's bullshit. But if you can genuinely sit in silence for days, so I think it's all fear. You're scared of ayahuasca. Like, why would you not do ayahuasca? Turn it around. Why would you not do ayahuasca? There's no reason to not do ayahuasca. If you're enlightened and not in fear, of course you're going to do ayahuasca. Why would you not? But if you can genuinely sit in silence for days on end, I mean, that's not going to be true. Like genuinely for days on end, you can sit and do nothing. If you can sit and do nothing, then fair enough. You're more enlightened than me, so why would you ask me a question? But I don't think that's true. Why am I apologizing for bumping into an NPC when I am the only one here who is alive? Exactly. Sorry. They're all robots. Slap them. Don't apologize to them. Don't slap them either. Agree with Riley, but can also see the other side. Lipsis is a very good one, even if she's lying to herself a little bit. But she's very conscious, don't get me wrong. But she likes squirrels, so that's always good to say. Tell you, Rick, I don't know this one. Or ley lines if you prefer. Okay, yeah, I know that word. I am just Anu, by the way. Anu, oh, fantastic. That makes things a lot easier. Nice to get to know you, Anu. You have clearly met yourself. Arcadian gets it. Attention is one hell of a drug, man. Dopamine hits. Obviously, I'm not telling Arcadian anything, but for the rest of the chat, yeah, Sophie's totally addicted to dopamine hits. But she won't use any real substances that will help her and help her break through because she's so in fear and so in judgment. So she only has attention left. Ah, now we've just blocked it, so this is no longer an issue. Yeah, I mean, I think everyone does. Someone just put, I feel bad for Sophie. Yeah, I mean, I'm past the point of caring. I've moved to hatred, which obviously is says a lot about my defensivism and the fact that, I mean, I'm not really in hatred. She's meaningless to me. I'm never going to think about her again after this live stream. But you just get what you get reflected to you what you are. So fuck it. Who cares? She deserves it. But also, of course, I do feel sympathy for people who are struggling because I've been there myself. I know how painful it is, but I've never been that, I've never done that to myself. I can't have sympathy for that. If you're actively repressing yourself, like it's one thing being attacked from the external, everything they do, schooling system, all of it. One thing being attacked from the external and having a reaction to that and becoming repressed and then realizing that and doing whatever you can slowly to unrepress yourself to connect. Courage. I've just remembered what the advice was for that guy. The key part is gathering evidence. So you're going to need courage. You're going to need to start with courage before you have trust. I can't even remember what the comment was about, but that was the point I wanted to make from an hour ago. Why has that just popped in now? Because it's something about this reconnecting and de-repressionizing yourself. You'll need a lot of courage. I give up. All right, so another £6 in the next 6 minutes to go beyond 2 hours. Oh, I fixed my exploding ass by doing the primal diet by that person on the screen. Only nutritionist I trust. He did all his nutrition experiments on his own with his own money and wrote books. He eats raw food. I'm not eating raw food. I'd rather just shit. Like, why would you prefer that? That makes no sense. Of course it does. Like, of course you're more aligned in terms of your diet. And of course you're serving your body better than I am. So of course, well done. And I think that's really good, and I don't think you should stop and start shitting yourself again. But from my point of view, I'd much rather shit myself and eat chips. That's quite a good one. Tom Goyo X. I like that. I'll use that. Thanks, mate. Tom Goyo X. That's really good. Definitely not a stupid goy. That would be you. This is how projection works. That's a man. They're just fucking hilarious. I can't believe I used to get triggered by people like that. Like, they're actually hilarious. And Tom Goyo X is fantastic. I'm definitely going to use that. Do you believe dinosaurs were dragons? Thinking about T-Rex with tiny arms doesn't make sense, although they say they are like big chickens. Well, that makes even less sense, that chicken bit. They say that the chicken has come from the T-Rex. I mean, that's just absolutely hilarious. Yeah, so if you look at all dinosaurs scientifically, physiologically, they are impossible. You know, they can't support themselves on their tiny little legs. Anyone with any knowledge of, I'll just say biology, but obviously there's better words than that. Well, the problem is most people with that sort of knowledge have just been brainwashed by university and don't actually question anything. Even though, you know, the PH in PhD stands for philosophy. But they don't ask any questions. Oh, wow, cool. We need 1 more pound, guys. Somebody can put in 1 more pound, surely, in the next 3.5 minutes to get us to 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Yeah, so dinosaurs are an absolute joke, and they only started getting spoken about after they released Darwin's theory of evolution. So obviously they were part of that psyop, that lie. And oh gosh, I'm getting tired. Also, they take you away from God. They take you away from creative. It's the same as a spinning ball. You know, like you know, evolution is the antithesis of creation, isn't it? So that's why they like to push that so hard. Do I think they were dragons? Well, I just think they're two totally separate things. I think dinosaurs are made up, and I think dragons are real. Like, dragons are in all the scriptures. You can see dragons. You can see that some mountains and some lands are formed out of sleeping or dead dragons. There's loads of evidence for dragons, and why are they in all the scriptures, but dinosaurs aren't? Very obvious, isn't it? So no, I think what you're doing is giving them too much leeway. I think you're giving them, I don't think you're realizing how deceitful and evil they are. And you're assuming that they've confused dragons with, or made this dinosaur thing out of dragons. But no, it's just a complete lie. And it was made in about 1930 or something, or maybe late 1800s. But you know, it's a quite a recent lie. And you know, you look at all the scriptures, do you call it calligraphy? You know, cave paintings, what the Egyptians did, everything's in there. Like, they've got fucking half Sphinx human things. They've got all sorts of monsters, all sorts of crazy stuff. They've got lots of dragons. I don't know if the Egyptians have, but you know, there's lots of dragons documented in history. No dinosaurs, but they've got everything else, unicorns and all sorts. No dinosaurs. Honestly, I thought raw food was gross too. All right, yeah, so this is a raw food man. Mate, I'm not arguing with you. I'm really not. I think you're actually going to go on to, you're probably just going to go on to tell me that it actually tastes all right once you get used to it. And you're not even, you know, I'm not arguing with you. Like, I totally agree that, well, put it this way, there's no manimal. Oh, that's quite good. There's no mammal that cooks its food other than these Spackfesters. So have we got it wrong, or have the cats got it wrong? I think it's more likely to be us. Now, there's a potential that we are not a mammal and a manimal. That obviously happened for a reason, and we are meant to cook our food, but I think you're probably right. Let's try and read your comment, because my main character syndrome is kicking off big time, and I can't even read your comment. Honestly, I thought raw food was gross too. We're so far removed from what we're supposed to eat because of the conditioning. Just try it for a week. Trust me. I totally trust you. I totally believe you. However, I just can't imagine that a raw chicken breast is ever going to taste as good as a cooked one. Like, you're not, or you are. I think what you're saying is, Of course, if what you're saying is true, and I believe it is true, but we're supposed to eat raw food, then obviously our body's actually going to love it, and our taste buds are going to love it. And I know this is true because of times where I've eaten biscuits and crisps and sweets, and I do that or in the past I have done that so much that I actually think they taste nice. But if you don't do it for 2 weeks, they taste awful. Except crisps. Crisps will always taste good. But sweets and chocolate and all that, like and any sort of processed food, other than chips, tastes crap to me now because I just don't eat it. Like the idea of eating something out of a packet, except for crisps. And I've eaten one bag of crisps in months, maybe let's say 3 months. Let's say 2 months to be safe, but I think 3 months. And they were given to me by Lee's, let's just say Lee's partner, when she left. So I haven't bought a bag of crisps in ages, but crisps will always taste good, I think. But now I look at stuff that I used to, like when I was in Mexico, I was eating so many biscuits, and I knew at the time that they didn't taste good. I was just really depressed and repressed and didn't want to feel anything. So I was numbing myself out with poisonous biscuits and shitloads of green herbs and loads of this and loads of this. So not so much of that, but a bit. And so I agree with you. But I'm still not going to do it. I just couldn't bring myself to eat raw meat. I just think it would be gross, absolutely gross. But I do agree with you. I think you're right. Rachel's chucking in another 2. It is worth the cash, Tom, if you're tired. Oh, bless you. Thank you, Rachel. Yeah, I think I will stop at 2.5 hours, like 3 hours maximum. I basically decided I'm never going to live stream for more than 3 hours again. I mean, that's obviously not true. Of course I will. But in general, doing more than 3 hours just kills me and ruins my whole day. This was a great question, by the way. Thank you, Ian. Love the brutality you've had tonight in the stream. Good night, brother. Have a positive day. You too, Marky. Cheers. Yeah, I see it as aligned action more than brutality, but it can definitely come across as brutal if you are repressed. And I'm not saying you're repressed, Marky, but and brutal is an accurate word as well. Like, but I prefer it as like masculine, omnipotent might be the right word, but potentially not. I don't really know what it means, but Lee uses it a lot, so I'm going to try and use it. But I need to learn what it means. It's something to do with a masculine holding. Yeah, forget that word. That's not right for this. It's. I'm gonna do an action instead of a word because I'm retarded and I know what the action is, but not a word. That's how I've shown up tonight. What's your thoughts on DMT? Amazing, great. I'm scared of it. It's very powerful. I've done Changa about 8 times. I've done DMT about 6 times. I don't think I've ever broke through. I don't think I've ever surrendered. I've gone into resistance. I've gone into, why have I done this? Why have I done this? Make it stop, make it stop. And then I actually purge a lot, which is unusual on DMT. And I think that's my defense mechanism. I think rather than surrender, I go into this story of like, oh, I'm purging, I'm doing the work. Oh, look at me, I'm so deep. Rather than just surrendering and going to the white room where everyone goes. I've never been in the white room. I think it's great. I think everyone should try it. I think it's probably what happens when you die. So if you're scared of doing it in this life, then think about what happens when you die. We know scientifically that you get a rush of DMT when you die. So better start practicing. And I'm saying that to myself as much as anyone else in this chat. Steak, sushi, curry parka, there are a lot of raw dishes that are amazing. All right, so he's pointing out, this is good. He's pointing out dishes in the mainstream that are raw. So basically what he's doing is he's pointing out the indoctrination and the conditioning around this. There are a lot of raw dishes that taste amazing. You're really good, mate. I feel like we haven't seen, are you black? Oh my God, why have you got a black person as your profile pic? Can you tell us more about that? I won't hold it against you if you are, but are some good ones. I'm just interested because, I like to know that there are actually some good ones and I don't just have to say it for YouTube. But of course there are some good ones, as you're potentially about to prove. But tastes amazing and actually healthy, unlike what doctors tell you to eat. Mate, you win. I agree. I'm still not going to do it. Tell me about your origins, and then more importantly about this. What was the question I wanted to ask? Parasites. What about parasites? Apparently there's a dinosaur carved in Angkor Wat. Interesting. I will try and find it. What do you mean by when you say dinosaur though? Do you mean beast? Like, what is it? Is it labeled as a T-Rex, or is it very clearly one of the made-up dinosaurs they tell us? I bet it's not. I bet it's a beast, because there are many beasts. There's many in Antarctica right now, I think. I mean, what's the that one in the Bible, the one underwater? There's a lot I've seen that suggests that that is guarding the gap in the ice wall between us and the extraterranean, where the extraterrestrials come from. Oh, I think we might have. Oh, no. Really loving this guy. To be fair, the only people that get on the diet are those that are pushed to the absolute edge with absolute health issues. Eating raw meat seems extreme. So only, yeah, totally. I mean, you could say that about all the self-work, and this is a very, very deep surrender. This is a very deep opening. I really, where are you at with the rest of your self-work journey? I mean, you seem to just think it's all about diet, and I think, I think a lot of it is. Oh, shit, it's gone. There's something I wanted to ask you. Oh, right, yeah. So I met somebody who basically was at the opposite side of the spectrum to you. So he was about cooking your veg to a point where it was like mushy even for a 9-year-old. And no, was it? What would he say? What was the meat all about? The meat was definitely cooked. I can't quite remember, but basically the food had to taste as shit as possible. And he talked about this absolute edge thing. And I knew some of it. I tried it, but I failed after a week, obviously. But I know somebody who did it, and they ended up with like, I don't know what to call them, but like big blobs all over their skin where they were releasing toxins. But obviously, you're going to totally disagree with that because it's the opposite side to what you're at. And I'm much more inclined to believe this is the way. But the reason I bring that up is because I've seen somebody advocate, and like, he was a nutritionist and had really studied this shit, and was very conscious. Now I am going back 10 years, so he may not even be doing it himself. And it was all based on some doctor. I forget the doctor's name. You'll probably know about it. And he based his whole career on it and was getting great results. But it's a complete opposite of what you're saying. Just thought I'd throw that out there. This one, Pedro, I'm plant-based since 2012, but eat eggs now, and I'm looking for a hunter so I can start eating meats again. Anyone know one in the UK? The guy I just mentioned, actually, he was a hunter. Lewis, he was called. I don't have anything to say to that because this is right on my edge as well. Like I'm really starting to, for a long time, I felt discomfort around eating other beans. And I went vegan for 2 years and did that, but it was very much out of ego. And then I went full spectrum the other way, like carnivore diet is best. I never managed it because I like eating crap. But, basically like where I basically still am, I don't know, because I do think balance and I do think there's a place for vegetables, although I appreciate that all plants have toxins too. And nothing that we eat, like no fruit is actually the real fruit, like it's all just been man-made and it's just genetically modified crap now. An actual apple comes from Afghanistan and is this big and is sour, Went plant-based, now gone completely the other way. But yeah. But now I'm really open. So Lee is a vegetarian. And did a video on Tom Greatrex with Lee about, I think it's titled, Should We Eat Animals? You might find that interesting, Pedro. Obviously it's related to this subject. So I don't know what the answer is. I just know eggs are good. I'm never going to stop eating eggs. I'm open for the first time in a long time to stopping eating meat, but then I go to, well, what the hell would I eat other than carbs? And I'm not eating carbs. So it would be more from a spiritual perspective. It would be more from an energy perspective. I definitely feel that it can be proved from a third dimensional perspective that meat is good for you. When you see a worthy person, endeavor to emulate them. When you see an unworthy person, then examine your inner self. Confucius. Yeah, brilliant. Rachel's staying up with us late on a work night as she's been signed off from work by a man in a white coat. That won't last for long. Back to a rat race before I know it, for fuck's sake. This sounds like progress to me, Rachel, because the last time you spoke about your job, you were virtue signaling. Like, I help people, when really you work for a council, so you can't possibly help people. On the deepest level, of course, there is an element to helping people, but also you're helping people that can't help themselves, so you're just empowering victimhood. So I'm glad to see you've moved on from that and accepted you're just part of that race and a slave. Because, you know, that acceptance is getting you closer to leaving it. Lipsis, I think higher consciousness are definitely vegans. Every vegan I've ever met is of the ego and low consciousness. So I disagree. And I've been in and out of veganism, but I do believe you can kill animals and believe you are a higher consciousness. I'm not vegan. I do believe you, you can't. I do believe you can't end animals and believe you are higher consciousness. Well, of course you can believe it because people are deluded. And there's stuff like spiritual ego. So of course you can believe it, but you can't be it, is what you're suggesting. I don't know the answer. It seems to me like you're very of the ego still, Lipsis. You're still very opinionated. You're still very dualistic. You're still very yes and no. You're still very right and wrong. I like you a lot. You're definitely following the journey, but you're very opinionated and judgmental. You're very of the ego. You haven't done the work yet. Not the deep work. Oh, I'm at the bottom of the chat. Cool. So what did we say? Right, I'm doing another 20 minutes. Let's make that coffee. And you're, so Lipsis, there's not really any surrender in your writings. It's very much like, it's still belief systems. I mean, I had to reword that for you to make your point for you. So you believe that consciousness is about believing, or you understand consciousness to be about believing. Well, then obviously you're of the ego because you're having to believe. So it's a loving reflection, you know. I'm trying to reflect to you, you know, your clear delusions. With love. I think you're great. And I'm not even suggesting that I'm any different. I'm just, you know, reflecting the obvious, you know, literally from the wordings you use, from the words you use, it's very obvious that you are not connected with oneness. You are still separate and of the ego. Because you can't even express, you haven't even intellectually got to the point where you can express words that relate to oneness, let alone, so therefore, obviously, you're not feeling them because it's intellectual at first. And if you can't feel them, you can't embody them, and you can't walk that way. This isn't a game. This isn't a what it kind of is. This isn't. So you're still doing it from the ego, like you're learning knowledge and regurgitating knowledge to try and impress people and sound wise and convince yourself you're wise. But you're still coming from the mind. None of it's embodied. It's still opinion, and the wording's even wrong. So it's clearly not a lived experience. And when I say the wording is wrong, it's I do believe you can't kill animals and believe your higher consciousness. Believe. And that's not embodied. Nah, I agree with that. Cooking does create some toxins, and some toxins are bioavailable. The skin is a bigger bowel than the actual bowel. His skin was probably detoxing the stuff he ate. Very possible. Why are you not telling us about your origins? That tells me you are a beast of the land, which is fine. If you come out like this, it doesn't matter what you look like. You've clearly met yourself and are not going to go around beheading people and raping people, so that's fine. It's not. I don't care what you look like. It's the characteristics that come with that look. When you eat an animal, you're eating intact cells that have sequestered toxins. But when you destroy them by cooking, so does sequestered kind of mean like processed, made them okay? But when you destroy them by cooking, you destroy the cells and release any toxins. It kept you safe, so it damages you instead. Yeah, this is the same with fruit, isn't it? Where like the cellular wall, I'm just going to use it keeps toxins in. And then when you make a smoothie, for example, you mash that up. And something about fiber as well, like you mash up all the fiber, make it not good because it's all in chains, molecularly. I don't know what I'm talking about. I've seen someone talk about it. The peyote shaman. When you destroy cooking, okay, that all makes sense. Are you a beast of the land? Yeah, that makes total sense. That makes total sense. Right. Are you honestly trying to tell me that eating raw chicken tastes better to you? Mm-hmm. I know it does because you're in touch with your body, and of course it's gonna taste good if it's right for your body. Once you get rid of all the layers of crap. Oh bloody hell! I wish you hadn't shown up tonight. You're making me fucking question things that I wasn't questioning. So, you can see even somebody that's dedicated to self-work and even sees himself as possibly some sort of teacher in that field, still doesn't want to fucking accept new truths that make him do more self-work. So you can see the resistance. So imagine what it's like in an unconscious person who's not even trying to do self-work. Imagine what it's like in Sophie. It depends what you do with the energy you get from wherever. I feel after my health challenges, everyone is different and hopefully makes you conscious on what you consume. Pedro, I can't remember the context. This is the problem with live streaming in general and being a pothead and doing it at 3 in the morning. All those things together mean I can't remember the context of what we were talking about. But I like it. That sounds good. Killing isn't inherently evil or good. It just is, in my opinion. What do you think? I think it's a natural process. I think vegans would disagree because they operate too emotionally from what I've seen. Yeah, vegans are egoic. I bet you put it better. They're operating from their emotions and therefore are presenting very egoically. Killing isn't inherently evil or good. Oh yeah, because that's duality. So yeah, it's neither of those things. It is just, yeah, I totally agree with that. I totally agree with every word you've said tonight, I think. Are you a beast of the land? I went for a walk. It's not going to change anything, mate. I mean, I'm basically just bantering with you, but also I just want to know who you are. It's not going to change anything if you are a beast of the land. Obviously, I judge people on how they show up. I judge people on their characteristics. Obviously, I will make generations based on groups of people and their characteristics. And I will definitely have preferences for who I want to live around based on those characteristics. But on an individual level, what color you present as means nothing to me. I went for a walk and saw a dog do a poo and the dog owner pick it up. But what I really saw was consciousness doing a poo via dog form and consciousness picking it up via human form. I'd had shrooms. Even without that, I'd had shrooms. It was great. That just made it even better. Oh, Calusa, I fucking love you, mate. I fucking love you. Empower yourself. Earn an income and come to Same Reap and come and live with me and Lee. Pedro's a good one. I was so eager. I mean, that's anyone who can. That's just great. I don't think Lipsis could ever say that. I was so egotistical. Ego and Lipsis. I'm not getting at you. I know you've donated. I don't want to upset you. Of course, if I was a grifter, not that really exists, but if I was somebody that only focused about money online, of course I would only blow smoke up your ass. But actually, I'd rather help you and offer you reflections that will value. So please don't get triggered. Please carry on donating. And please just, you know, you can customize projections, you can do what you want with them, but don't stop sending me money over them, because I'm just trying to help you. I was so egotistical when I first went vegan. Again, I think it's part of a growth journey. I feel I'm lacking now on a vegan diet. 14 years. Oh, right. Yeah, I'm starting to remember the context. So you've been vegan for a while. You were about to reintroduce eggs and you were looking for a hunter. Right, I remember the context now. I feel I'm lacking now on a vegan diet. 14 years and 41, I feel my body needs more. I mean, listen to your body. Just listen to your body, you know. So you've said it yourself. It was egotistical. So it was from the mind. It was from the personality that you wanted to create, the character that you wanted people to see you as. It was more about the minds of others than your mind. You wanted people to see you as better than them, and you thought that being a vegan was the way to do that, just like everyone in this retarded world is trying to do through different means. But you can spot that, you can see that, you can self-observe, so that's massive. So then you're left with two options. My body is telling me, and you can even acknowledge, you're even so connected with your body and so aware that you can acknowledge that even though your ego is obsessed with being vegan. So you've got this part saying be vegan, and you've got this part saying eat meat. You know what the answer is, and you do know what the answer is. You're saying it yourself. You don't even need my reflection. So yeah, fantastic. But you're still caught up on some morals that are repressing you. So I need to find a hunter. Well, one, be your own hunter, if that really is your moral compass. But two, just get over yourself and just eat some meat, and realize that you're part of a paradigm right now that isn't perfectly aligned. And you're part of a paradigm right now that isn't perfectly aligned, and what you're trying to do is control it and judge it rather than just be it and surrender to it and allow yourself to move on from it through self-work. So now your ego is stopping you from doing what your body is telling you and what is obvious by making up all these stories about how you need to get the meat. Just get some organic grass-fed meat, mate, and eat it. Now, I had the guy that I did the community center with, Steve, really good friend of mine. When I met him, he was vegan, and my God, he was so ugly. I mean, he's not blessed anyway, like in terms of facial structure. But on top of that, he had pale skin and spots everywhere. Like he did not look good. And I had a chat with him. This guy's way more enlightened than me, but I did really help him with this. I just told him my journey with veganism and how glad I am that I'm eating meat. And then the next day we ate a steak together, and he never looked back. And all his spots went, his skin improved. He was still ugly, but everything else improved. And it doesn't matter if he's ugly, because he's enlightened and cool, and women love him anyway. So he's not even got a big dick, and everyone wants his dick. Definitely when he was the leader of a community center, not so much now. I see. Okay, cool. Heart of hearts. Bless you, heart of hearts. Heart to heart, Igor. Night, Tom. Night, everyone. See you soon. Bless you, heart to heart. Thank you, Igor, for being part of this. And honestly, without Igor, this wouldn't happen. Igor. Yeah, I'm doing it right. This wouldn't happen. We would do this once a week if it wasn't for Igor. So can you all please send lots of love to Igor as she drifts off into, no doubt, some lucid dream. As she drifts off into her beautiful angel space, although I think her whole life is a beautiful angel space, whether she's asleep or not. Thank you, Igor. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for making the streams happen, allowing the streams to happen on such a frequent basis. Thank you for filling in everyone's repression with your beautiful giving love. I had no idea you had this much depth, by the way. I watched your videos about political stuff. I didn't know you were philosophical too. No sausage glazing. It's pretty cool there these days. Yeah. You'll prefer my other channel, mate, at Tom at Greatest. Let me put it in. This is much more aligned to you than Not Today Saying. At Tom _ Greater. I think of all my offerings, that's the offering that will align most with you, mate. I really appreciate you, mate. Even if you are a beast of the land, like I say, it makes no difference. I'm just trying to be funny because I have 3 channels. I'd be funny anyway, even if it was just on Great X. I still think humor is great, but I think humor is really appreciated by the other 2 channels. So yeah, the beast of the land stuff is just humor, mate. It makes no difference to me whatsoever. Now, if you've had a mixed race child, that's a very different matter. I will cast you into the shadows and never speak to you again. Again, I'm joking and being funny. Okay. I'm not opinionated, lol. That's not a good sign. Far from it. I don't need to use a code of words to understand. I don't need a code of practice like you see. Oh, yeah, she's getting defensive. I thought she'd do this. Yes, very egoic. I feel you are following under. Yeah, very egoic. That's a shame. So this is a problem with live streaming, is you get people who donate to you and then they show that they're very egoic, and you try and reflect that to them, and then they have a defensive reaction because they're very egoic and they never donate again. But I have to be honest, I can't do this without honesty. So I accept that Lipsis will never donate again, and I'm not going to back down. She's very egoic. I mean, if you can't see that anyone that needs to put lol, that's defensivism straight away. I'm not denial. There's no inquiry here. I don't, and then there's like, you seem to need to, like, it's just defensive nonsense. No, not true. Of course, there'll be some truth in what I'm saying. There'll also be some truth in what you're saying, but you're very dualistic and very egoic. So, of course, you'll just only ever see it your way. Sweet, man. I look forward to seeing you. I mean, mate, we talk about all this stuff. Like, so your input would be amazing. And maybe we could get you on. Maybe we could do a live stream. Maybe we don't even do it live. Maybe we just record a video together and you share your knowledge, because your knowledge is amazing, mate. I used to be against race mixing, but if it's natural, I'm all for it. Wow, this guy's great. Not like nowadays where it's powered by globalism. In ancient time, there was a small amount of mixing, and that's ideal. Oh man, I really wish we were in OBS, because I've just got a new sticker of a child doing this. And I really want to use that sticker right now. Right, Jackson Rin YT, have you got a channel? I think that could be a channel, just because of a YT, but it's not a very good channel name, so it probably isn't actually. You've been the absolute, obviously, you know, Igor's always the star of the show, but you've been the star of the show tonight, man. Like, thank you so much for all you brought to this live stream. It's amazing. I've just seen a ridiculous comment. I'll get to that in a minute. But first, we'll get to Justin. Yeah, you're amazing, mate. I'd like to create some content with you. I think you're great. I think you know way more than me. Tom, the plebs are mad about the sleeper bus video. So on my other channel, English Refugee, which documents my life out here, yeah, I snap at a pleb playing shorts out of his phone on loudspeaker at a sleeper bus, and the plebs think I'm in the wrong. It was rude, apparently. Not, you know, there's no assessment of his rude actions that caused my rude actions. Nah, it was very aligned. It was very stoic. Also, I did it for the camera. You know, I exaggerated. You know, obviously, I wouldn't have ripped his camera. Obviously, you know, this is what we also don't understand. If I wasn't filming, I wouldn't have ripped his curtain like that. I mean, I might have done, but you know, I'm pretty sure I did that for a camera. I wouldn't be as harsh and brutal if it wasn't for a camera, like, because I know what people want to see. But it's also genuine. Like, I am going to absolutely do that. I am absolutely going to tell him, and if I need to get brutal, I'll get brutal. But I just go straight to brutal because I know that's best for a camera. But they've no perspective of that. They've no perspective of what it's like to be a YouTuber, or I don't even expect them to understand that, because you have to experience it. But they can't even conceptualize that you might have a different perspective if you've experienced it, and that you might have to do certain things that you wouldn't do in normal life to entertain the masses. Like, they can't even conceptualize it. Right, let's get to this one. This is funny. You are enlightened and have no ego, question mark. Well, what do you think? Look at me. Oh, I've got tits. No, I'm a complete pleb. So here's the scale. Here's pleb, here's enlightened. I'm here. Most people are here. So compared to most people, I'm quite enlightened. But here's enlightenment. I'm not even past halfway point. And of course, really, what's happening, so here's his love and his fear and his enlightenment, and really you're coming back to balance. That's what enlightenment is. It's not at one end of the scale, it's in the middle. And I'm enlightened enough to know that. Yeah, I do, but I don't make regular videos, just videos about stuff I care about whenever I think about it. Okay, cool. So, is it this channel? JX Vin, oh, was that VT or Y? Oh shit, I fucked everything up. JX Vin YT, JX Vin YT, JX Vin YT, JX in Vin, JX Vin, JX Vin, JX Vin YT. Oh wow, he's there. Okay, let's. Oh god, I think he is banned. It's fine. I'm joking. Oh, so racist is great. Okay, so we want to present something else. So we click on this, and then we go share screen, and we share this guy's YouTube, and we share it. And then I think I then need to come back for some reason and add it to the screen, even though it takes me off it. It's so bad that it does that. Right, this is his YouTube channel. So is that him? That can't be him. You look very young. Oh dear, I'm struggling with these thumbnails. Yeah, these thumbnails are terrible. So I think you might be Asian, because only Asians make thumbnails like this. So it seems to be very computer gaming. So obviously I wanted to give you a shout out, but I can't shout out Asian computer game stuff. So you're Asian, is this you? You look very young if this is you. You have way too much wisdom for this face, if this is you. But then it says Chinazega. Is that even, I don't think that's even your channel, is it? Right, ignore everything I've just said. That wasn't his stuff. Who are you? I can't remember how to get the sound to work when I screen share, so I don't think I'm going to bother. Can you? Oh my God. Oh, sake. Also, fuck, that's going to be copyrighted. Shit. Fuck screen sharing, man. It's way too much. Okay, that channel looks like a mess to me, but you know, subscribe to it if it didn't look so messy to you. Sorry, mate. I was trying to plug you, but it didn't grip me. But I know you're amazing, so I'm sure there is some decent stuff on there. I will attempt to make myself a Patreon on Not.cs, but what's the point if it keeps getting banned on? So a Patreon is nothing to do with an individual YouTube channel. The Patreon is a separate, oh my God, Rachel, this is going to be way too much for you. Patreon is a whole other website that you'd have to learn. It's not linked to YouTube. So as a Patreon, you're supporting this individual. I think what you mean is membership. Now you get a bit more attention for membership. You get your name in lights. You get early releases potentially. Oh, well, so do Patrons actually. Yeah, I mean on Patreon, you'll be up to date with me in English Refugee. Not really, because I need to give them another 14 videos, but at one point they were up to date with me, and they're about to get up to yesterday's video. So really, you should join. If you want to support me, the best way to do it is joining Patreon, which is nothing to do with YouTube. If you want to join Not Today Satan, you'll become a member. I'll get less, but you'll get a bit more, potentially, depending on, you know, if having a badge next to your name means something to you. Which is understandable why it does, you know, and it does help. I mean, I notice you anyway, Rachel, because I know you very well, and you're donating all the time. But you know, there's the people that I don't know so well. I know that they're members. It shows me that they're members, so they're much more likely to get my attention. So it is worthwhile. In terms of so it sounds like you just want to do it to support me. So in which case you'd be better off doing the Patreon, because as you say, if it gets taken down, then I will not receive any of your love in the form of coloured bits of paper that are now just digital and made up, and were always made up, even when they were coloured bits of paper. So it sounds like the Patreon would be better, but also I don't think NTS is going to get taken down again. I think I'm good now. I was pushing the boundaries a bit too hard, and I think basically I've experienced enough now to know how to stay on here, on this platform. Okay, guys, I think we're coming to an end. Yeah, we are coming to an end because I want to give myself a chance of a good day. But I'm going to thank everyone. If someone chucks in a tenner while I'm thanking everyone, we will go on to 3 hours, but then we're definitely ending there. But I'm not, I'm more than happy to end now. So Justin, thank you for starting it off. Fan on it, thank you for an early donation. Debbie, not here, still donates, even when she's not part of the live. She's such a support. She's so amazing. Thank you so much for the early motivation, guys. And thank you to these people for throwing in a few pennies. And then Debbie again with a massive support. Of course, Igor is just always supporting this. Honestly, these live streams just wouldn't happen. Without Debbie, Igor, and Rachel, these live streams simply wouldn't happen more than once a week. And then we get other people who come in and support, who extend the time and honor me and motivate me. And then this guy's just been fucking amazing. JX Rin, really look forward to seeing more of you in the comment sections, hopefully on the live streams. Really open to giving you a platform to share your wisdom if you want to do that. Yeah, up for you coming to say Amoeb. I just think you're great. Rachel, wow, amazing. Justin actually is putting a tenner tonight. Amazing. Obviously, Igor's just amazing. So yeah, I think Justin is putting 8 or 10 quid. So Justin is a huge support. What's Justin's last comment? Are 70 IQ plebs even part of collective consciousness? Yes. Do I need to say any more? Yeah, I mean, there's the NPC possibility, but my understanding is, and it's, it's just a stab in the dark based on, a few life experiences and what I've heard wise people talk about. Yeah, please don't put any more money in, I'm done. Yeah, I'm totally done. Definitely don't put any more money in. I can't even answer this question. Yeah, my understanding is that everything is consciousness playing out, basically. So the table is part of collective consciousness. So if the table is part of it, then sadly, even the beasts of the lands are, and the plebs. Oh, Lipsis, bless you. Oh, that's great. I'm so happy to hear that. Not because of my ego, not because of the money. I mean, the money a little bit, but more because I like you and I don't want to trigger you, and I just want reflection. And I'm not even saying I'm right. I love that. Has you put anything? Next time, Lipsis, next time. I look forward to engaging with you more, loving you more, and receiving £10 from you. All right, everyone, lots of love. Thank you so much for joining me. Sorry, it's been such a late night on a school night. Let's end it now so you can get to bed and be good little office slaves tomorrow. Lots of love to you all. Obviously, I'm just jesting when I call you that. I do respect you all. I really appreciate you all. But if we can't laugh at this life, then what the fuck are we going to do? We're going to end up like Sophie. Mwah! Oh, that was bad timing. Let's try that again.